crimson gamble. Tires squeal, hearts race, this leads to scandal. Full throttle, no brakes, chasing that checkered. Drafted lines tighter than a bank teller's ledger. Turn 4 is a monster, jaws wide like a gator. Pit stop, quick cruise, move sharp as a razor. Adrenaline pumps, veins fuel injected. Outlaws on the track, chaos perfected. Full throttle kings, we don't slow down. Ripping through the night, owning this town. Gas to the floor, the crowd gets loud. Outlaws racing, we're born unbound. Smoke trails curl, exhaust whisper secrets. Victory's a beast, only the brave can keep it. Paint job flash, sponsors on the side. Egos collide, stealing pride. Oval dreams where legends ignite. Green flag drops, sparks kiss the night. This ain't a hobby, this a gladiator's grind. Racing's the religion, speed's the shrine. Bump traps, slingshot, rival in my sights. One wrong move, you're kissing the lights. Bump traps, slingshot, rival in my sights. One wrong move, you're kissing the lights. Smoke trails curl, exhaust whisper secrets. Victory's a beast, only the brave can keep it. Paint jobs flash, sponsors on the side. Egos collide, stealing pride. Oval dreams where legends ignite. Green flag drops, sparks kiss the night. This ain't a hobby, this a gladiator's grind. Racing's the religion, speed's the shrine. Bump trap, slingshot, rival in my sights. One wrong move, you're kissing the lights. Bump trap, slingshot, rival in my sights. One wrong move, you're kissing the lights. Engine scream, asphalt burns, the grips a gamble. Tires squeal, hearts race, this leads to scandal. Full throttle, no brakes, chasing that checkered. Drafted lines tighter than a bank teller's ledger. Turn 4 is a monster, jaws wide like a gator. Pit stop, quick cruise, move sharp as a razor. Adrenaline pumps, veins fuel injected. Outlaws on the track, chaos perfected. Full throttle kings, we don't slow down. Ripping through the night, owning this town. Gas to the floor, the crowd gets loud. Outlaws racing, we're born unbound. Smoke trails curl, exhaust whisper secrets. Victory's a beast, only the brave can keep it. Paint jobs flash, sponsors on the side. Egos collide, stealing pride. Oval dreams where legends ignite. Green flag drops, sparks kiss the night. This ain't a hobby, this a gladiator's grind. Racing's the religion, speed's the shrine. Bump trap, slingshot, rival in my sights. One wrong move, you're kissing the lights. Bump trap, slingshot, rival in my sights. One wrong move, you're kissing the lights. Smoke trails curl, exhaust whisper secrets. Victory's a beast, only the brave can keep it. Paint jobs flash, sponsors on the side. Egos collide, stealing pride. Oval dreams where legends ignite. Green flag drops, sparks kiss the night. This ain't a hobby, this a gladiator's grind. Racing's the religion, speed's the shrine. Bump trap, slingshot, rival in my sights. One wrong move, you're kissing the lights. Bump trap, slingshot, rival in my sights. One wrong move, you're kissing the lights.
Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in for what is going to be another amazing night of racing action here on Peacemaker Gaming, as each and every one of these drivers ready to get a new season underway here with the Full Throttle Outlaws Racing League for what is going to be another amazing series, another amazing time here with these drivers as they're in these NASCAR trucks and they are ready to rock and roll as we head to our clash here this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is the clash. No points on the line here, but bragging rights are always up for grabs here, as this is the Full Throttle Clash live from North Wilkesboro Speedway. So for each and every one of these drivers, they are hoping to try to advance their way through into the A main feature event and trying to put themselves into the show here, as we're going to get ready for some heat race action. So we got a couple heat races coming at you. 15 laps for each heat race. Top 7 will advance to the A main feature event. Everybody else will go to our last chance qualifier, man, the last chance dance, that Consi here later this afternoon. And for any of the remaining drivers that are in that consolation race, top 5 will advance to our feature here this evening. So if my calculations are correct, should be 26 drivers making it into the A main feature event. I believe we had just under that, so we should have everyone pretty much going into the show here, but we will have no caution laps count here this evening, and for our feature event, 100 laps, 80 minutes, no caution flags. Caution flag laps do not count here. There will be caution flags, but no caution laps count here this afternoon. There will be a halfway competition caution at lap number 50 of that A main feature event. 2 sets of tires and 100% fuel, and you will be disqualified at a 26x incident point counter. So you got to be clean, you got to keep yourself out of trouble, and try to put yourself into a winning position here this evening. Is starting on the pole for heat race number 1. It is the Cincinnati number 56 of Jack Drucker. Drucker will start in that top spot. To his outside, it's Justin Duran. Duran will start in position number 2 in that number 30 ride. Starting in position number 3 in the Sinclair Dyno Care number 6 is Rusty Modesty. To his outside in the USBC number 28, that is Brandon Combs. Starting in position number 5 in the 77 ride, that is Evan Schilling. To his outside, the 5 machine is Matt Hayden. And then we do see the 4 ride of Jesse Calloway, the 46 of Skylar Berry, John Solino, Ronald Kingston, Shane Morris, Justin Lee, and Keith Prince. Bringing up the rear of the field here. Looks like Prince going to miss the start here of this heat race, but for each and every one of these drivers, our first couple corners of the season here with the Full Throttle Outlaws. It's the 56 of Jack Drunker out in front, holding down that top spot here. Drucker out in the top spot will lead the first lap here this evening as Modesty in tow. Justin Durant unfortunately falling back now into that 3rd position. Then it's a dogfight back here behind him as they're 3 wide back here for position number 5 on the racetrack. The 46 is Skylar Berry up on the outside lane as we see one driver going around. It's Evan Schilling on the bottom side of that 3 wide battle, loses the rear end, goes around, and we'll see our first caution flag of the day be displayed. So our first caution here this afternoon, let's take a look back at it, see what happens here to the number 77 machine, as unfortunately here, or Schilling just going to end up going around right here. He's rolling that inside lane, trying to get this car rolling, and shoots it into the corner, gets onto the binders, and right there gets onto that apron, just ducks it too far down low. And once you kind of get into that apron, man, it's dirty racetrack. Unfortunately, not a whole lot of grip down there, and he finds out the hard way, especially kind of coming up off that conversion, going from the concrete to the asphalt. And unfortunately, rear end steps out and around on him. He goes for a quick little slide and kisses that infield barrier right there, that infield fence to pit road, and able to keep on rolling, able to keep on battling here. Doesn't look like too much damage there for that Dodge Ram, so he'll get lined up at the back of the pack and have to try to work his way back forward, as right now top 7 advance into the show here. So you're looking to try to be inside that top 7. You want to make sure you're in line to potentially work yourself into the show here this evening. Now, if you do run into issues, you do run into mistakes, you still got a good amount of laps to try to battle back here. It's not over until it is over, until that checkered flag is thrown. So even if you run into an early mistake or you fall back a couple spots, you got time to battle back here, especially with these caution flags. Could definitely gain a good amount of positions. And Skylar Berry will look to try to battle once again here. He'll be restarting to the outside of that 5 right of Matt Hayden. They were having a great battle there, 3 wide with the 77 down into core number 3 there before the 77 truck went a round. So they'll get stacked up, they'll get racked up, and they'll get ready to try it all over again. Jack Drucker, though. Drucker out in front. He's got the top spot. He's the control truck here for the restart. Looks like he's electing to use the outside lane here for this restart. So that will put Rusty Modesty down to the inside groove here. So Modesty will have to try to find a little something extra here, trying to find his way around this 56 machine as we get back to green flag racing here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Is down through that Echo Park restart zone. The 56 of Jack Drucker. Drucker with a great restart, great launch right there, and you can see him trying to pull away as here comes the 28 right to his back bumper. Oh baby, Brandon Combs looks like he's got a bit of a hot rod here this evening as well. He's looking to try to push that subject, trying to work his way right to the back bumper here of our race leader. Drucker may have his hands full here in a quick hurry with Modesty and Combs there behind him. We do see Skylar Berry able to work his way around Matt Hayden, now working to get around that JCTV number 30 ride of Justin Durand. Durand, unfortunately, falling back here. He's going to fall back a couple more spots as he gets real loose down and out of corner number 4. I feel like this 30 ride really likes the outside lane, and unfortunately just not able to get up there. Drivers are rolling to his outside. He's got a pin down low, and that's where we've seen him get very loose, especially here at a core number 4. And again, he gets tied up with Callaway. They get tied together. They both wash down the racetrack, and then here they come, piling into him. Caution flag back in on the speedway. Big hits there for Duran. Huge hits for the 4 of Jesse Callaway. As let's take another look at this one, as we knew something was brewing back here for position number 6 at that moment in time. So you watch the 4 ride of Jesse Callaway rolling the outside groove. He gets up to the outside fence here. He's really got nowhere else to go. Unfortunately, the 30 ride at Duran comes up the speedway, washes into that left rear quarter panel, and unfortunately for the Scrub Daddy ride, can't scrub enough speed off of that 4 machine as they both pile down into the infield safer barrier. They wash back up the racetrack here, and then all of a sudden, for a lot of these drivers, nowhere for them to go as they all just kind of pile in here. The 76 ride of Shane Morris, huge hit there for him, big hit for the 24 Salino. Justin Lee getting a big piece of it. We did see Evan Schilling also getting tied up in that as well. Also went down the racetrack, bounced back into that 30 ride of Justin Durand. So that's going to put a lot of these drivers down pit side here, trying to get some repairs, trying to get their cars fixed up and back into, pretty decent condition out there on the racetrack. And unfortunately, a couple early issues here for the 77 of Evan Schilling. Kind of has him in a tight spot out there on the racetrack, but there's that contact. Huge hit there for the 30 ride down to the infield fence, and then a couple more big hits here for a lot of these drivers, including Jesse Callaway, that 76 of Shane Morris, Justin Lee, and Justin Durand, all getting some pretty big hits out there on the racetrack as they'll head down pit side. They'll look to try to get their trucks repaired, try to get back into the battle here, and hoping to try to work themselves, right back into the fight out there on the speedway. But out in front, continue to lead the way, it is still this number 56 machine, Jack Drucker. Drucker continues to lead the way, but man, he's had Brandon Combs' Modesty right there on his back bumper. Now it's time to choose which lane he wants to go with again. It looks like he's going to choose that outside groove once again. So he's going to stick with that outside lane. Worked out pretty nicely for him there during that last restart, so he's going to go for the same move again, hoping for a big launch, hoping to get that HendrickCars.com Cincinnati number 56 ride back to the point and working some laps down here, trying to draw himself into the first transfer spot into our A main feature event here this evening as they're all stacked up, racked up, ready to go. Pace cars back down pit side. Now they head into the Echo Park restart zone, and here we go back to green flag racing. Green flag quickly back into the air. The 56 ride, again, another decent restart there. Able to clear the 28 ride of Brandon Combs without any issues. Combs now trying to still just stick right there to his back bumper, kind of cutting down, diamonding the racetrack here, getting some really good runs down the straightaways, and he's taking a peek to the inside of this 56 ride of Jack Drucker. Drucker, though, going to look to try to keep on holding him off as here comes Modesty battling his way right back into third and back to their rear bumper. Here comes Skylar Berry, the 5 ride of Matt Hayden's there in 5th, and then we see him get sideways right there. Hang on to it, Hayden. Oh, baby, got real tight real quick there for Hayden and the 8 ride. Now there's more contact. Look out. Still bouncing off of one another. The 30 trucks up into the outside fence. There they go around as the 38's around. The 30's around. Matt Hayden, Jesse Calloway all get tied up in it, and the caution flag will be displayed once again. So another caution flag out there on the speedway, and man, things were just wild right at the get-go here as you see Hayden trying to battle, trying to clear this 8 ride. Now I'm not sure if he's clear right here. I think he's trying to move up. I think he thought he was clear. He was not. Kind of tail tags and kind of just kicks that rear end out just ever so slightly, losing that grip down the bottom side of the racetrack. Unfortunately, as he does kind of tail whip and tail tag the 8 ride of Kingston, they both kind of get a little bit squirrely. Here comes the 30 ride of Justin Duran right into the battle here. Now he's gotten his nose poked into it, and I think for the 5 ride of Matt Hayden, still just trying to collect this race truck, still trying to get it going here. He shoots it down into corner number 1. I think maybe a little heated up under that right rear, and unfortunately sends it in the corner. Truck just pushes, washes up the racetrack, bounces off the 8 ride, and then they all just kind of pile in here. You see that Cartoon Network number 76 ride. He's going to get in there. The 30 gets into the 8, and they're sideways, and then Duran, he's going to kind of get bounced back into right there just enough that he gets clipped here in that left rear quarter panel, exiting corner number 2, shoots down the racetrack into the lap here of Matt Hayden, washes them both down the racetrack, hard contact into that scrub daddy number 4 ride of Jesse Calloway. Calloway just nowhere for him to go, man. Big hits there for him. We did see Justin Lee also kind of, I don't know if he went around right here. Yeah, he does go around as well. So I'm not sure if he kind of just loses it on his own. Looks like he does. Kind of just loses that rear end, goes for a quick slide. Unfortunately, he goes around, and at the same point in time, other drivers in front of him run into their own issues here, and some pretty big hits out there on the speedway. So another caution flag, another restart on the horizon, and for Jack Drucker, he'll look to try to keep these guys back there at bay as Justin Duran looks like he's taking his truck down pit side here, maybe down there for an extended period of time, trying to get some heavy repairs done to that 30 machine, and same with Jesse Calloway. Major repairs being done to the number 4 ride out there on the speedway as we'll get them all ready to rock and roll, ready to go back to battle here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Pace car makes that hard left-hand turn back down pit side, and for Jack Drucker, he's looking to try to get another big restart here over Combs, Modesty, Berry. The 8 ride of Ronald Kingston is here we go back to battle. As the 56, good restart, but this time does not clear that 28 ride. Looking for a big run out of corner number 2 as Modesty pokes his nose down low underneath the 28 machine. Now here we go. 56 for the first time here, really taking that inside groove, finds a good run and good drive down in through corner number 3 and 4, able to kind of build a couple truck length lead there between himself and Brandon Combs. Combs now trying to hold on to position number 2 as Modesty works down to his inside here. Seems like the middle of 1 and 2 kind of seems like the best lane. Bottom through 3 and 4 really seems to be working well here for a bunch of these drivers, so we'll have to wait and see as these guys are going to continue to move around. They're going to continue to find these lanes, the grip, and try to work themselves into better positions out there on the racetrack. But again, we're looking for the top 7 to advance their way into our A main feature event. And looking back there, a little deeper in the field, you see Ronald Kingston. He's still sitting in that 5th position. Matt Hayden solidly there in 6th, but then the battle's on back here for position number 7. As look out, there goes the 76. Caution flag is back out on the speedway. Shane Morris was in that 7th position. He was in a transfer spot, and it looks like he just kind of gets a little loose right here. I'm not sure if just rolling that inside lane underneath of Hayden, there's any contact here. Doesn't look like it, but he gets really loose out of corner number 4, tries to collect it as he sends it back into corner number 1. The rear end just steps out on him. He tries to correct it. It overcorrects, snaps, hooks back up into the outside fence, comes to a rest there against that corner 2 wall, and unfortunately does bring out a late caution flag here in our first heat race of the day. So our first heat race of the evening, and another caution flag as we did see John Salino come down pit road. Looks like he's going to get some repairs done to that number 24 truck, as we'll get these drivers all ready to rumble, ready to go back to battle. It's the 56 of Jack Drucker out in front. Drucker's just held on to the top spot, man. Sometimes just having this track position, having that clean air, being out in front is the safest and the best place to be, especially at a racetrack here like North Wilkesboro Speedway. So for that 56 ride, he'll be looking to try to capture our first heat race win on the season. Obviously, no points on the line, but some bragging rights. Obviously, a little extra chip on his shoulder heading into these final couple laps. Each and every one of these drivers will get ready to get lined up, ready to go back to battle here. Lights are still on the official iRacing pace car, so we'll get a little bit more time here under caution flag as drivers try to get lined up, try to figure out where they want to be, which lanes they want to be in, and get ready for what is going to be an incredible battle here. And we may not be done with those caution flags. There still may be a few more yellows here this evening. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you guys are just tuning in and you haven't already, make sure you guys do us a favor right now. It's absolutely free to do. Helps us out a ton. Hit the like button on the broadcast for us. Hit that subscribe button. Become part of the Peacemaker family here today as we get ready to set them back loose. Lights are off, the official iRacing pace car, and here we go, getting ready to go back to green flag racing for what should be a very low-numbered shootout here. Should be probably only about 2 or 3 laps left to go here in this heat race. So for each and every one of these drivers, knowing that this is going to be a shootout, it's going to single-file restarts, which is great news for Jack Drucker, as Drucker will continue to look to keep these guys back there at bay. The 56 down through that Echo Park restart zone. We'll see the white flag fly. So the white flag is in the air here this afternoon, and for the 56, looking to try to hopefully pull away from this 28 ride, try to keep himself with no pressure to his back bumper as they head down through corner number 3. Nice and easy down and out of corner number 4 as there's contact between Modesty and that 28 ride as the checkered flag is displayed. It's the 256 of Jack Drucker who picks up our first heat race win. Skylar Berry squeezes through with second. Brandon Combs, Rusty Modesty, Hayden there in that 5th position. Let's go back and take a look at the rest of our results here for heat race number 1, because there was a lot of action going on, a lot of beating and banging, a lot of great battles here, and for these drivers putting together an absolutely epic show for us already here this evening. As let's see if we can get this updated quickly for SDK. Alright, I don't know why that's not showing the results of that. Interesting. Alright, so we can't. Why does that? Should be showing the results of our heat race, but it's not showing that, so that's an interesting aspect. But nonetheless, we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to roll here as our second heat race of the day is about to get underway, as each and every one of these drivers ready to go back to battle. As Fletcher MRL coming in, becoming a brand new member of the Peacemaker Sub Club. Fletcher, welcome to the exclusive Peacemaker Sub Club here today, becoming a brand new member over there on the YouTube stream. Huge shout out there to my boy, Mr. Fletcher MRL, showing the love here in this one as we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to roll here for heat race number 2. Starting on the pole, it is the 11 ride, the Red Bull machine of Eric Hagdol. Hopefully I'm getting that right. I'm probably getting it completely wrong. Eric starting there in that top spot. To his outside will be that Expeditions number 87 of Joe Yakes. Colton Hardy will start there in third. To his outside, it's David Traylor with Zach Kelly. Stephen Luttrell, Brody Bent, Bruce Barnard, Clinton Woodby, Gregory Wood Sr., Rooster Rod, and Harrison Crosby, and Andrew Hainsley bringing up the rear of the field as we are quickly back to green flag racing here as heat race number 2 gets underway. Heat race number 2 getting fired off here in this one, and quickly it is Eric Hagdol out in front. Hagdol out in the top spot here. Hopefully I'm getting that right. If you guys do know the correct pronunciation there of Hagdol's name, or however Eric pronounced it there in that Red Bull number 11 ride, please give us a heads up. Break it down for us, okay? As he continues to lead the way, continues to hold the charge here. We did see Brody Bent run into a little bit of issues back there deeper in the field. Unfortunately for the 63 ride, the Heatwave machine falls all the way back into the 13th position here on the Speedway, but trying to battle back, trying to work his way back up into the battle here, hoping for another caution flag out there on the Speedway as the Red Bull machine of Eric Hagdol continues to lead the charge here in heat race number 2. Look out, there goes Joe Yakes. Yakes is around. Oh no, Luttrell in there as well, having some issues there. He got a little sideways, locked it down, trying to keep himself out of that 87 ride as we see our first caution flag in heat race number 2 going to be displayed, and it's just for the 87 down and out of quarter number 4. Rolling smoothly here. He's in behind David Traylor, running in that 4th position. Just kind of lose the rear end as he kind of starts to slide sideways. The 21 ride of Zach Kelly does get a little piece of him here. Obviously, not what he's expecting to see coming out of corner number 4. Car parked dang near sideways right in front of him as here comes the contact. A little love shove right there, helping him go around there. I think he was probably going to go around no matter what. Unfortunately, it puts the 87 hard contact down into that infield safer barrier here on the front straightaway. iRacing, our official, getting a great look at it here as it's pronounced Bente. Okay, so the E is actually pronounced, and it's A-Y. Okay, that's good to know. Brody Bente, okay. That's always good to know. When we see new drivers, you know, you just never know how people pronounce their names, whether it's Bent or Benti or Bente. You know, you just never quite know. So we appreciate Ohio jumping in here, showing the love and giving us that update there for the 63 ride. Is Bente going to look to try to keep on battling back, looking to try to move that heat wave ride back up through the field here. We love the Greg Biffle inspired numbers there as well, that Greg Biffle font that we all grew and love here on Peacemaker Gaming, and hopefully we can see Brody get himself a good solid run, a good drive out there, maybe work himself up and into a transfer spot here this evening. But Eric Hagdol out in front has that top position as Colton Hardy in that beautiful winning bid NASCAR die casting card breaks. QH Designs Ghost Energy number 97 ride in position number 2 with David Traylor, the number 21 of Zach Kelly, Stephen Luttrell, and Rooster Rod in our top 6 out there on the Speedway. Clinton Woodby rounding out our top 7 as Woodby's going to look to try to keep on battling here in this one as Radio Addict says Harrison working his way up from the back. And what in the mother fluffin' heck? Jay Lee coming in with the $50 dono. Are you kidding me? Are you? Jay Lee, my boy. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get a hashtag Jay Lee in the chat right now. Let's get a hashtag Jay Lee in the chat. I think that's the biggest dono we've ever had on YouTube, which is absolutely insane, brother. That is absolutely insane, my boy. That is $50 dono. That is absolutely wild. As Sonic Graphic Design says, ride the Bente. Yeah, ride the Bente. Ride the Bente. Yeah, I love that. I love that. Ride the Bentes. Eric Hegdahl out in front, has the top spot as David Trailer and Colton Hardy duking it out door to door for position number 2 out there on the racetrack. It looks like Trailer trying to take it away from him. Hardy battling hard, though, on the outside lane. Not wanting to give it up, unfortunately. Looks like down through 3 and 4, that inside lane going to pay dividends again there for that number 54. As kind of see these drivers moving around again. We kind of saw this throughout our first heat race. This is something that these drivers watch, that they learned, that they kind of got a good look at, is that it seems like the middle of 1 and 2 really seems to have a lot of grip. It seems to be the fastest way around, maybe entering a little high, cutting down the racetrack, especially on quarter exit, like you do see with the 54 and the 11 ride right there, and then rolling the inside groove down through quarter number 3 and 4 seems to be the quickest way around this racetrack, as we do see Gregory Wood Sr. Oh no, heartbreaker here for the Milwaukee number 13 machine, as Gregory Wood Sr. now down pit side here. Heavy left front damage. Looks like his heat race may be over, as he's going to fall not one but probably multiple laps down here, as he'll get that truck quickly repaired. Looks like he's getting tires on it as well and getting ready to roll back out onto the racetrack. As out in front, Eric Hegdahl continues to lead the way, but David Trailer right there on him, trying to find his way around that number 11 ride. But for our pole sitter, looking to do exactly what we saw our pole sitter do in heat race number 1, is trying to lead all these laps, keep these drivers back behind him, and trying to give himself the best starting position he can for our A main feature event. As David Trailer, Colton Hardy, Zach Kelly, our top 4 out there on the racetrack. Rooster Rodden back in 5th with Steven Luttrell there in that Luttrell Racing number 36 ride in that 6th position. And rounding out our top 7 here, looking to transfer through into the A main feature event, the 92 of Clinton Woodby sits in that 7th spot on the Speedway. Bruce Bernard, unfortunately, on the outside of a transfer spot looking in. Joe Yanks there in 9th. Harrison Crosby back in position number 10 with Brody Bente and Andrew Hainsley, our top 12 out there on the racetrack. Gregory Wood Sr. back out there onto the Speedway, unfortunately, multiple laps down here for the 13 ride, and he has our race leaders not too far away from his back bumper, but down and across the line. They'll complete lap number 13. We get 2 laps left to go here in heat race number 2, and it's the Red Bull Racing number 11 of Eric Hegdahl, who's looking to try to keep David Trailer, Colton Hardy, and the rest of the field back there at bay. Is down and out of corner number 4. He'll see that white flag fly as David Trailer kicking that rear end out, trying to find everything he can, trying to make a late race move. Unfortunately, it'll cost him, as Eric Hegdahl, nice and easy, 3, 4, 5 car lengths down into corner number 3, nice and easy out of corner number 4, and it's Hegdahl who will pick up heat race win number 2. David Trailer, Colton Hardy, Zach Kelly, and Rooster Rodden, our top 5. With Steven Luttrell and Clinton Woodby rounding out our top 7, all punching their ticket into the A main feature event. Bernard, Yanks, Crosby, Bente, Ainsley, and Wood all gonna go to our consolation races here this evening. As yes, Jay Lee, Sonic Graphic Designs definitely makes designs. They make some incredible designs. Make sure you hit them up. I feel like they got Facebook at Sonic Graphic Designs, and I don't know, do you have Twitter, Sonic? You may have to drop your some of your ads here in the comment section there for Jay Lee to be able to get a hold of you, but definitely get that figured out. And I believe, luckily enough for each and every one of these drivers, I believe we're skipping the consolation race. I think everybody is going to get a chance to roll here this evening. Everybody will race here in this A main feature event here this evening. Nobody is going to miss out on the opportunity to race here this afternoon. What in the fluff is Matt Hayden doing? What's going on here, Hayden? Hayden, this is not the backwards challenge, brother. If it was, I think he's got it. He's rolling pretty nicely. I mean, Clinton Woodby, I don't know what these two are doing. Are they kissing? Is Is that how, like, F-150s are made or something? Like, what is going on here? These guys are having too much fun out there on the racetrack. Is this a quick little warm-up session for majority of the drivers? They'll get an opportunity to jump out onto the racetrack, gonna work on their setups, make sure that their trucks are absolutely good to go, that they're absolutely perfect and ready to roll here for this A-Main feature event. As you do see Justin Lee out there on the racetrack, our boy Jay Lee out there on the speedway, laying down some good times here, trying to give himself a bit of, extra track time, a couple extra laps out there, wanting to make sure that he has this truck absolutely hooked up and ready to rock and roll for our A-Main feature event. John Celino, he's cutting down through the, he's down in the infield here. What in the world's going on? These guys are having way too much fun. Is Fletcher coming in, showing the love? Oh, Fletcher changed his name too. Fletcher with the PSCRL. We love it, brother. We love it. Fletcher coming in, showing the love, not only here, in the broadcast, man. You guys have shown the insane amount of love here. Our boy Jay Lee coming in with a $50 dono. Our boy Mr. Fletcher coming in, hitting the gosh heckin' join button, becoming part of the members club here on Peacemaker Gaming, man. You guys are absolutely insane, absolutely killing it. I can't thank you guys enough and can't appreciate you guys enough. As if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys definitely jump into the comment section. Again, we already saw Anna, we saw Sonic Graphic Designs come in with the hashtag JLees in the chat here, man. Let's get some more hashtag JLees, and let's get a hashtag 11 in the chat as well for my boy Fletcher here as well, as Fletcher coming in showing the big love as well. I believe in the 11 car for the Premium Stock Car Racing League. So let's get a hashtag 11. Let's get a hashtag Jay Lee again in the chat as well here, guys, because, man, that is absolutely insane. Again, biggest donation on YouTube from Mr. Jay Lee. That is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. We haven't seen a dono like that in a while. Since we were back on Facebook, man. Since we were over on FB. The last time we saw a big dono like that, which is absolutely insane. And I feel way too spoiled, man. 14. That's right. 14. I was thinking the 11 right. What was I thinking, Fletcher? What was I thinking, brother? I knew it was the 14. It's the Home Depot machine out there on the racetrack, man. We love to see that rigid 14 out there. Hashtag 14 for Mr. Fletcher. Hashtag 14 for Mr. Fletcher. As we'll get them all stacked up, we'll get them racked up here in a quick couple moments as they get their warm-up session in. We're going to get a quick drink into us and get ready for our A-Main feature event here in just a few more moments. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, don't go anywhere because you do not want to miss out on this A-Main feature event here in just a couple more moments.
The grips a gamble, tires squeal, hearts race. This leads to scandal. Full throttle, no brakes, chasing that checkered. Drafted lines tighter than a bank teller's ledger. Turn four as a monster, jaws wide like a gator. Hit stop, quick cruise, move sharp as a razor. Adrenaline pumps, veins fuel injected. Outlaws on the track, chaos perfected. Full throttle kings, we don't slow down. Ripping through the night, owning this town. Cast to the floor, the crowd gets loud. Outlaws racing, we're born unbound. Smoke trails curl, exhaust whisper secrets. Victory's a beast, only the brave can keep it. Paint job flash, sponsors on the side. Egos collide, stealing pride. Oval dreams where legends ignite. Green flag drops, sparks kiss the night. This ain't a hobby, this a gladiator's grind. Racing's the religion, speed's the shrine. Bump draft, slingshot, rival in my sights. One wrong move, you're kissing the lights. Bump draft, slingshot, rival in my sights. One wrong move, you're kissing the lights. Slow trails curl, exhaust whisper secrets. Victory's a beast, only the brave can keep it. Paint jobs flash, sponsors on the side. Egos collide, stealing pride. lights. Bump, crash, late shot, rival in my sights. One wrong move, you're kissing the lights.
Woo! Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you came here for a show. Well, here you go. As our A main feature event is about to get underway, each and every one of these drivers looking to try to put themselves up and into victory lane here this evening in the Full Throttle Clash, live from the beautiful North Wilkesboro Speedway as we get 100 laps of racing action here on the docket. Caution laps will not count here, so it is full 100 laps of racing action here this afternoon as Jack Drucker will start in the pole position. To his outside, our second heat race winner, it's Eric Hagdahl starting there in position number 2. Skylar Berry, David Trailer, our top 4 on the speedway is Brandon Combs in the 28 ride. Will start there in 5th. Colton Hardy to his outside in 6th. Rossi Modesty, Zach Kelly, our top 8 with Matt Hayden, and Rooster Rodden rounding out our top 10 on the speedway. Ronald Kingston, Stephen Luttrell, Clinton Woodby, Evan Schilling, Shane Morris, Bruce Bernard, John Celino, Joey Yates, Harrison Crosby, Justin Lee in that number 38 ride, starting back in the 19th position with Brody Bente, Justin Durand, Andrew Hainsley, Jesse Calloway, Gregory Wood Sr., and Keith Prince, unfortunately not out there on the racetrack, so it's 25 drivers here this evening as here we go quickly to Green Flag Racing as we end all the anticipation with our feature presentation. The Cincinnati number 56 will lead the charge and lead lap number 1 here this evening as Brandon Combs quickly's worked his way up 3 spots and into position number 2 as the inside lane has gotten moving. Unfortunately for a few other drivers, they are a bruising. One of those being this number 54 of David Trailer. Oh no, David Trailer's dad in the chat coming in showing the love as well, says being too polite too long. He says yes sir, says for the win, he says, for the number 54. Unfortunately for David Trailer, gonna run into some early issues here. Looks like he's gonna have to head down pit side, get some repairs done to this 54 machine, as there are some pretty big hits here for him, Matt Hayden as well. A few of these other drivers just kind of getting tangled together, and it looks like maybe it's Hayden down the inside groove here. Looks like he's gonna lose the rear end. We saw this in the heat race for him. Washes up the racetrack right into the lap of David Trailer, shoves Trailer up into the outside fence. Big hit there for both the 5 and the 54. They lose a ton of speed, a ton of momentum here as everyone else scrambles to get around them, trying to work their way by these guys without getting collected or tore up themselves. Now, luckily enough, they did catch a caution flag to kind of give themselves a little bit of a good break here. Obviously, getting that yellow puts them down pit side here and not losing laps out on the racetrack as Hayden and David Trailer both headed down pit road, both looking to try to get these trucks repaired, but now going to have to try to make a hard charge up towards the front of the field here as Sonic Graphic Design says, nah, man, I'm all washed up and retired from that. What? Are you kidding me? There's no way, Sonic Graphic Designs. There's no way, brother. You're not all washed up. No way you're retired, my boy. Come on now. Come on now. Help my boy Jay Lee out, as Laura Stacy in the chat as well says, let's go, number 5. Unfortunately, the fan curse kind of struck not only once, but kind of twice there at the start of this feature event. Now, normally, we don't see that very often, but it does happen quite often where one of the fans in the stands comes in, they cheer on their driver, and not too long after, you know, they can get tore up here. Unfortunately for David Trailer Sr., he watches David Trailer Jr. get tore up, and unfortunately for Laura Stacy, she sees Matt Hayden also get tore up right there on the racetrack. Is Anna Alessandra? What's good, Anna? Anna says, what up, Peacemaker? What up, Anna? How are you, my girl? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful, wonderful Friday night as the weekend is finally here, chat. The weekend's finally here. I've been actually off for most of this week. I actually dang near took my eye out at work. What was that, Tuesday, yeah. Took a PEX pipe straight to the eyeball at about 150 mile an hour, and yeah, I was blind for like almost 24 hours. It's still very, very hard to see. My eye is still very, very red, and It's definitely very blurry trying to read anything too far away from my face right now. So it's been really, really tough. And obviously having an eye injury, man, it is not fun at all. But here we go. Back to the fun on the racetrack as Jack Drunker looking to try to keep himself out in front, trying to hold off Brandon Combs as Combs looking at trying to work his way to the point here in this one. He was all over that USBC number 28 ride, man. He's been all up there, up and trying to battle around that 56, trying to find his way to the point, not only in that first heat race, but now obviously jumping right into this feature event. Here he is trying to strike and trying to work his way right to the point as Combs rolls in second. Modesty's trying to hold on. The third here is Modesty and Barry. They're going to duke it out here again as Barry down to the inside. Unfortunately, could not get the run he was looking for underneath that Sinclair Dyno Care number 6 machine, and Eric Hagdal, our second heat race winner of the day, will take advantage of the slip up for the 46 ride. Moves himself right back up inside the top 4. As Fletcher says, Jesus, dude, yeah, it was not good. It was not good. It's still not good. My eye is still killing me. If we get another caution flag, I'll bring it up. I'll bring it up here into the screen for everyone to see. I will tell you, it's not too bad. It's not crazy, but if you're a little squeamish, I would definitely tell you to maybe look away for 5 seconds. If we get another yellow flag and after we watch the issues out there on the racetrack, is Ronald Kingston. Ronald just got up into the outside fence pretty solidly right there. Some really solid right front contact there for that Fallout number 8 ride, and unfortunately for the Voltec machine, he's going to be struggling here, hoping to try to keep this thing just pointing in the right direction. Hopefully no big tire rub or a flat tire issue there for that 8 ride, but he quickly has Rooster Rodden working his way to his rear bumper here, and Rodden's going to take a look down to the inside of the 8 ride for position number 5, and it looks like for Ronald Kingston, he's got nothing for him, and Rooster Rodden's going to move up into 5th here, and it's crazy already. Rooster Rodden's up 5 spots. Ronald Kingston's up 5 positions here. You look a little farther back, Joe Yanks is up 8 positions. A lot of big, hard chargers throughout the field here. Justin Duran in that beautiful number 30 truck. He's worked his way up now 7 positions into that 14th spot and battling hard to the outside of Stephen Littrell. As Littrell rolls back there in that 13th spot, we do see the caution flag come out as, oh no, looks like more issues here for Gregory Wood Sr. as it looks like Greg has ran into some issues. Let's take a look here at the 13 ride as the Milwaukee machine, we saw him do this in his heat race. Looks like maybe just loses the rear end, tries to catch it, unfortunately knows it. Hard contact into that infield safer barrier, and he's just going to tow it straight down pit side and off the racetrack there. Heartbreaker there for him, and we also did see Harrison Combs as well come down pit road here on lap number 7. Combs had a little bit of right front damage here, and it looks like, yeah, it looks like he had gotten up into the outside fence pretty solidly. Take a look at that right front for Combs Crosby, and unfortunately for Harrison Crosby here, heavy right front damage for that Spy versus Spy number 7 ride. He pits during green flag conditions, and unfortunately now finds himself multiple laps down and still parked down pit side, as we do see Colton Hardy, Ronald Kingston. We knew Kingston was coming down pit road trying to get that right front fixed up here, and Andrew Hainsley also down pit side in that beautiful Dodge Ram number 29 ride out there on the speedways. Let's take a look here. We'll bring it up. Let me see if I can find it quickly here, chat. Where are we at here? I know I had it saved in here somewhere. I'm just trying to find it, chat. Oh god, that's not a great picture of it, but let's see if we can pull that up. Alright, so this was our eye. This was yesterday, and about what, 2 days, 3 days after the issue. Let's see if we can make this hit the screen. Alright. Bear with us. Alright. That was our eye yesterday, chat, and it was very, very hard to still open. It's definitely gotten quite a bit better, but yeah, we were down bad. My poor eye was definitely pretty messed up for quite a while. You can definitely see how red it is. Could barely see out of it. Could barely keep it open. That's why I had my hand there to kind of hold it open right there, man. And it is definitely, it is not very nice to have to deal with, that is for certain. But we're going to bear through it. We're going to keep on battling, and we're going to get right back into the action here. As here we go, back to green flag racing. As David Trailer says, got stuffed in the fence. The competition did not do that on purpose. It definitely did not. As Carol in the chat says, you go, number 29 ride of Andrew, cheering on Mr. Hainsley here this evening. As he's not in the 126 tonight, Carol, not in the 126. He's back in the 29 truck, out there on the racetrack trying to work his way up to the point. As Mandy says, bless your heart, prayers for a speedy recovery. I appreciate that, Mandy. I appreciate that. Definitely, I mean, I went through 2 major back surgeries. I've had so many broken bones and everything else. I think the eye injury was probably the worst. It's probably the worst, honestly, and maybe not pain-wise, but just like discomfort-wise and not being able to see. I mean, just like being dizzy, trying to get up and walk around or anything else, just like your depth perception is gone. It is not fun at all. And anyone that has, that's working pretty much with anything, man, with your hands at all, I mean, definitely wear safety glasses, man. I normally always have safety glasses on. I normally always have, like, sunglass safety glasses on. And it was just such a rainy day that I didn't put them on because it was rainy out and stormy, and it was so dark and gloomy out that day that I didn't put the safety glasses on. And of course, literally probably in the last 20 minutes of the work day, boom, that's, you know, that one simple mistake, that one moment of you know, misjudgment and everything else, and dang near took my poor eye out, which probably would have really sucked. It really would have made things a whole lot more difficult for us up here in the broadcast booth. That is for dang certain. As Jack Drucker, though, he's looking real good here out in front, as we do see the 3 ride rolling out there on the racetrack. That is Keith Prince. Good to see Prince rolling out there in that JMB Lawn Care number 3 truck. Now, he hasn't turned too many laps. He does have a black flag, so it looks like he'll serve that black flag and get rolling back out onto the racetrack. But good to see him join the fun here this evening, as Drucker, though, out in front, just using that pole position to his advantage, man, and having the control of the restarts and just being able to keep these drivers back there at bay, having that, you know, clean racetrack in front of him, and obviously having that clean air has helped him out a ton here. But Brandon Combs still sticking right there to his back bumper. Our second heat race winner of the evening, that Red Bull number 11 of Eric Hegdahl, right there in third, as Modesty and Barry round out our top 5 here on the Speedways. We do see the caution flag come back out. So caution flag back out here in this one, as Anna says, dang, Peacemaker, dang is right, yeah, it was definitely not fun. As Carol Hainsley says, sorry, Andrew, you go, number 29, laugh out loud. Yeah, there it is, the 29 truck. He's going, he's trying, he's doing his best out there, and I'm sure we're going to see him have a pretty solid day here this afternoon, as we did see the caution flag come back out. Now, I'm not 100% sure. David Trailer might have been a part of this one. Yep, there it is. All right, so it looks like the 63 ride, the heat wave ride, maybe already running into issues here coming out of corner number 2. Let's take a look at it. So the 63 down and out of corner number 2, just kind of rolling that outside groove in for Brody Bente. Looks like he just kind of loses the rear end a little bit, washes down the racetrack. I don't think David Trailer was expecting that. Unfortunately, they get tied together. As they do get tied together, they end up running back into one another, back down on the back straightaway here, and some pretty solid contact there for David Trailer and for the Heatwave 63 machine. And unfortunately for the 63, oh man, I thought we were going to see the 8 ride or a couple more of these drivers get tied up in it. Luckily enough, they were able to avoid him and that 54 David Trailer, so they minimized the carnage that could have unfolded there down and out at corner number 2, and luckily enough, everyone's able to keep on battling, as we do see Justin Lee. What in the world's happened? Justin Lee's now parked down into the infield fence here. Justin, what in the world? Oh, man, that's going to cost him a lap right there. Did he have to go pee or something? Why did he not come down pit road and do that? I don't know what may have just happened here, but slow, slow, slow. We see a couple of these other drivers trying to figure out what he's doing, and it just looks like either something gets disconnected. The Own the Legacy Coolers number 38 ride just kind of stopped there in the middle of the racetrack. Finally just watches down the speedway and into the infield wall right here. So a heartbreaker there for the 38 ride, as that'll set him back a little bit farther than I think he wanted to be. He's obviously now down a lap, but he's in that lucky dog position, hoping to see maybe a quick caution flag and back onto the lead lap here if he can get that lucky dog here this evening. As here we go, back to green flag racing is the 56 of Jack Drucker. Drucker getting another great restart, another great drive there on that restart, as Fletcher says, Ghost ride the whip. Ghost ride the whip is right. That was definitely a ghost ride right there. Looked like he had to jump down there, have a chicken sandwich, make a phone call, and then be right back there as Jack Drucker, though, out in front, continues to lead the way, trying to keep these guys back there at bay. We do see Combs, Modesty, Hagdahl all right there rolling to his back bumper as we see Barry and Rooster Ron in there duking it out here for position number 5 on the speedway. Barry's down to the inside. It is Rodden there to the outside in that Lost Society number 01 machine, trying to work his way up inside the top 5, and it looks like for Rooster, he will jump back into that 5th position. Skylar Berry will fall back into 6th, as you do see Clinton Woodby, Evan Schilling in the 77 trucks now up into 8th. Justin Durand is there in 9th. Durand gets a little contact into the 77. Hang on to it. There goes Evan Schilling. Schilling, though, able to catch it, able to keep it rolling, keeps it pointed the right direction. Unfortunately, loses a ton of track position, but does not see that caution flag flying. No yellow flag. We keep it clean and green. We keep on battling. Unfortunately, I think that may have hurt that JCTV number 30 rider, Justin Durand, as well, as he's kind of slid back a couple spots there, but you do see the 21 of Zach Kelly. Here comes Colton Hardy trying to work his way back up towards the front. Matt Hayden's right there, as well as the number 4 of Jesse Calloway. Calloway is up 11 positions on the speedway, but it is Justin Durand right now who has the Hard Charger Award, moving up 12 positions from where he started this feature event. Started all the way back, and I believe in the 21st position. Now rolling there in position number 9, man. Great run going for that 30 truck as he's looking to try to keep on racing his way up towards the front of the field, as everyone else, though, continue to try to hunt down and try to find their way around this Cincinnati. HendrickCars.com, number 56 ride of Jack Drucker. Drucker continues to hold the top spot, continues to try to keep these guys back there at bay, and there's the caution flag. Yellow flag will come back out, so another yellow here. I believe the completion of lap number 27 here this afternoon, and I believe it's Bruce Bernard. Bruce going to run into some issues here. Let's take a look here at that beautiful 17 truck, as Bruce going to send it down out of corner number 4 right here, and it just looks like gonna get over some of those bumps, lose that rear end, goes around, big contact there to that infield safer barrier as well, and unfortunately comes to a rest there, pointing the wrong direction down to corner number 1. That's where the caution flag gets thrown, and unfortunately for Bruce Bernard, gonna look for some major repairs here to that 17 ride. So that will unfortunately put us right back under another caution flag here. I believe our 4th yellow flag of the evening. So we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to try to go back to green flag racing here, see who can try to navigate their way to the front. And at some point in time, I feel like we're going to see these guys have to come down pit side. I feel like we're going to see one of these drivers have to work their way down pit road here, whether it's our race leaders or somebody's going to make that gamble for fresh tires. They have 2 sets of tires here. You got to wonder when they're going to use it, when this strategy kind of comes into play. I feel maybe a lot of these drivers are trying to hope for that midway point. We know there's going to be a competition caution at lap number 50 here this evening. So if we hit lap 50, maybe that's the goal. Maybe that's the time frame. Maybe that's the idea for a lot of these drivers, is to use that midway point as their pit stop here this evening. Now, I feel like having, 100% fuel it should probably be good on fuel all race long, and there could be a couple drivers that may want to take the gamble, may want to take the risk here of maybe not pitting throughout this entire race, maybe not getting those fresh tires, and just hoping that the track position is good enough for them to, come home with a solid run or maybe even the race win here this evening. So we'll have to wait and see, when the decision time may fly here for our front runners out there on the racetrack. As of right now, not a lot of these drivers have been down pit road. Our highest running driver that's been down pit side is that 97 of Colton Hardy. He was down pit road on lap number 12. So really no major advantage here for the 97 truck. Matt Hayden was down pit side on lap 3, getting his truck repaired. We did see Joe Yakes down pit road back on lap number 20. Now everyone outside our top 16, we do see a couple tankers. The 21 of Zach Kelly, Rooster Rodden, Shane Morris, Ronald Kingston, Brody Bente. They were all down pit road right there on lap number 28. So obviously trying to go with a little bit of different pit strategy here. We do see Justin Lee as well back on the lead lap. No, Lee, unfortunately, is still a lap down still, unfortunately. I called that out too early. Lee is still a lap down, but he is in that lucky dog position. If you can keep Prince, Prince is multiple laps down, and unfortunately, there goes Justin Lee. Oh, no, we were talking about him, and unfortunately, he goes around right there. Luckily enough, gets it rolling. No caution flag. We keep it clean and green out there on the speedway, as we do see Harrison Crosby make his way back down pit side. David Traylor still down pit road here in that number 54 ride. Unfortunately, Gregory Wood Sr. still getting his truck off of the racing surface and back down behind pit wall. But out in front, Jack Drucker. Drucker continuing to lead the way here. Drucker just looked really, really strong, but you got to wonder, is it all a ploy? Is it just the game plan for Brandon Combs, Eric Hagdal, Modesty, Woodby, some of these drivers back there behind them to maybe just kind of keep it easy breezy, maybe not push the subject, not burn up your tires or fuel too quickly out there on the speedway, and just trying to click the laps off here, bringing them closer and closer to that checkered flag, or maybe even just this halfway marker, as we still have 19 laps left to go here before we see our midway competition caution here this afternoon. So still a lot of racing, a lot of laps, and a lot of opportunities for drivers to move forward or to fall backwards out there on the racetrack to try to put themselves into a better position out there on the speedways. We do see Colton Hardy now around. Oh no! Hardy's around. There's Keith Prince. He's going to get a piece of it. 17 truck as well. Going to get some solid contact into that. And unfortunately for Bruce Bernard, pretty tore up right there. Man, there was a tight battle back here between Barry and that number 97 truck of Colton Hardy. And it looks like Barry right there really loose. And that's what really gets it started right there. So it looks like the 46 truck just losing the rear end here. Obviously gets a little help in hand right here. So, okay, all right, pushing and shoving here. 97 Hardy pushes him up the racetrack, opens up the door here, and then obviously out of corner number 4, trying to push hard to keep the 97 truck back there at bay. Kind of loses that rear end, tries to save it, tries to correct it. Unfortunately, he still steps out. Unfortunately, kind of just hooks the 97 truck into that right rear quarter panel, shoots him up the speedway into the outside fence. And this is where we're going to see him just kind of bounce around here a couple times. Then here comes Bruce Bernard. Man, big hit there for Bruce. Big hit as well for the 3 truck. Keith Prince and everyone else just trying to get checked up to avoid any of that carnage there on the speedway. See if we can jump on board here with good old Bruce Bernard, see what he can see out of the cockpit of this number 17 truck as he exits corner number 4 here. Sees a little smoke, and all of a sudden there's a truck parked sideways right in front of him and just could not get checked up, could not get low enough to avoid him. And fortunately, some very solid front end damage there for him, and some solid damage for Colton Hardy as well. Looks like Colton's had to use his quick repair to get that truck fixed up back into one good piece and back out there onto the speedway. Now, I do believe Justin Lee and come back down pit road, so that is not going to give him the free pass again here. I believe he is still lapped down. We'll have to wait and see if they do give him the wave around, if he can get back on the lead lap here at some point in time this afternoon, as I believe Colton Hardy has now also went a lap down out on the speedway, so Hardy's now in line for the lucky dog over that 38 machine. But Ronald Kingston, he's down pit side. John Salino's got that Exalta 24 Ryan rolling out there on the speedway, trying to work his way back up towards the front of the field here as well. But out in front, man, Drucker just going to get ready for another big restart, another good launch, and another good couple laps here, trying to just get to that halfway marker, trying to put himself into a solid position here for late in this race. But we still got to wonder, when do these pit stops kind of come into play? When do we see these guys make their way down pit side? As much as we're getting these caution laps, that normally yellow flag laps help you save fuel, help you get a little closer there to maybe not having to make a green flag or a pit stop here this afternoon. Unfortunately, with caution laps not counting, it doesn't get you any closer to the finish line, and it's actually burning up more fuel rolling under the yellow as well. So what could be virtually a 100-lap feature event could roll into 150, 160 laps if we have that, 50 or 60 laps under yellow that just do not count out there on the racetrack. And if that's the case, you may run out of fuel out there on the speedway. Fuel may become a major issue later this afternoon, so we'll have to wait and see who's going to be able to, hit the right strategy, put themselves in the right spot out there on the speedway. Now, there is also $20 on the line here as well. Our race winner is to receive a $20 bonus as well here, brought to you by the Full Throttle Outlaws. So huge shout out there to all of our amazing sponsors, obviously here throughout the season. Huge shout out there to the Full Throttle Outlaws for bringing back the show here, and obviously for each and every one of these drivers trying to put themselves up and into victory lane, as Jack Drucker looking to just continue to hold down the top spot, sees another caution flag fly. Oh, man, this time it looks like Joey Yates in the 87 truck going to run into some issues here, as the Yates 87 on YouTube, that Dodge Ram, going to run into some issues here. Let's take a look back and see what happens, as it looks like things may get a little tight out at corner number 4 for him, as the 76 kind of rolls to the high side. Here comes Colton Hardy looking to the middle. Looks like Hardy backs out of it. Good premonition there out of that 97 truck, because I think he knew kind of what was swirling right there in front of him. Moves up the speedway, and it just seems like, I don't know, maybe just 87 kind of coming up. I don't know if he thought he was clear of the 97, so he thought he could get up to the outside groove, and unfortunately they were 3 wide, so could not clear Morris right there, and drives up the racetrack into the lap of that 76, and unfortunately get tangled together. He goes around, caution flag comes out as everyone else is trying to avoid getting tied up or tore up in that one. Luckily enough, no one else doesn't receive any damage, and will keep on battling. But now it's more pit stops here. We do see Clinton Woodby down pit road. Okay, so this is an interesting one. Woodby's down pit side here. We did see Shane Morris obviously looking to get some repairs done to the 76. He's down pit side. Ronald Kingston, he's down pit road. Same with Bruce Bernard. Joe Yates. Andrew Hainsley's down pit side, getting repairs done to his race truck. Justin Lee still rolling out there. Unfortunately has not gotten the lucky dog, as I believe Colton Hardy received the lucky dog there during that last caution flag. Luckily enough, he did not get tied up in it, but nonetheless, we'll get them all ready to rock and roll, ready to go back to green flag racing as we inch closer and closer to that halfway point, to that midway point here this evening, as each and every one of these drivers, man, 100 laps of racing action. Caution laps do not count. Now, for a lot of these drivers as well that we've seen kind of get tied up in multiple issues that have had some problems here throughout this race. When you look at drivers like Bruce Bernard, maybe even Justin Lee, Ronald Kingston, Joe Yates, running into multiple issues, there is a incident point disqualification. If you run into too many problems, whenever you spin yourself out or you hit the wall or you hit another truck, you're going to get a 2x or a 4x incident point counter here in iRacing. And now if you accumulate 26 incident points, you unfortunately will be disqualified here from the feature event. So, for a lot of those drivers, man, if you're starting to see those X's go up, you're starting to run into more and more problems, more and more issues, you got to keep that in the back of your mind that, hey, you got to just try to keep yourself alive, try to keep yourself in the battle here this afternoon and not put yourself out of this race and not seeing that checkered flag fly. So we'll have to keep a close eye on it as we're back to green flag racing. And for our race leader, Jack Drucker, just another great restart there, man. Another great launch, and now you do see them battling for position number 2. This is exactly what he wants to see in his rear view mirror, but he just wants to see some good, solid green flag laps being laid down now. With them battling side by side for second, it's allowed Drucker here to open up a pretty decent gap here, a pretty sizable lead between himself and that 28 of Brandon Combs, the 11 of Eric Hegdahl. Is Hegdahl they're in position number 2 now, actually using that outside lane, makes the pass here on Brandon Combs, so Combs falls back into 3rd, and Hegdahl up and into position number 2 here. So our first heat race winner and second heat race winner back into their starting positions here from our feature event in first and second. And obviously now for Eric Hegdahl, does he have what it takes to jump up here, maybe work his way around Jack Drucker and steal this race lead away from the 56 ride, as so far Jack has been the only one to lead a lap out there on the speedway. As Brandon Combs rolls there in position number 3. Now we do see Jesse Calloway. Man, Calloway in that MOZA Racing Scrub Daddy number 4 truck, man. He has worked his way up through the field here, up 19 positions from where he started. And for Jesse Calloway, started all the way back in, I don't even know, 23rd position. Now rolling in that 4th spot, up 19 positions on the speedway, battling door to door here with Rusty Modesty, but the Ford truck in position number 4 and continue to look for more out there on the racetrack, just hoping to clear this 6 machine of Modesty. And a quick Curry, Skylar Berry, Stephen Luttrell, then 0-1, a Rooster Rod, and the 30 of Justin Duran starting to work their way up to their back bumpers. We do see the caution flag come back out. So the caution flag will be displayed here again, and it's the JMB Lawn Care number 3 of Keith Prince. Prince gonna run into some issues here in this one, man. That Sherwin-Williams ride, unfortunately, looks like he's gonna go for a loop-de-loop here. Let's take a look at it, see what happens as the songs or sound. Number 3 truck just down out of corner number 4. We're going to see this all night long. Loses that rear end, goes for a slide, makes some pretty solid front end contact with the infield safer barrier. Gets turned around in a quick Curry, but unfortunately caution flag already displayed. And for the 3 machines, some pretty solid damage that you'll have to try to get repaired and try to get back into the action here this evening. As now, here we go. Pit stops are underway, and here we go. Our race leader, Jack Drucker. First time he comes down pit road, and it looks like it's going to bring Eric Hegdahl. It's going to bring Brandon Combs, Matt Hayden, Ronald Kingston, Evan Schilling, Bruce Bernard, Justin Duran, also down pit side here with them. Andrew Hainsley also still down pit side here as well, getting some more repairs done to that 29 machine. Now, I do believe Justin Lee still a lap down here. Now, I'm not sure if he's called out or not, but he should be in line for the lucky dog. He wants to get back on a lead lap and back into the action here this evening. He wants to get that Coors ride back into the action. Should probably ask for that waiver round, try to get himself right back into the battle here this evening, as each and every one of these drivers is going to get ready to go back to battle. And the driver we were just talking about, man, after seeing our race leaders come down pit side, it's now Jesse Calloway who's got this top spot. Calloway's got the race lead. Modesty rolls there in second. Skylar Berry and Stephen Luttrell round out our top 4 here on the speedway. Now, our top 4 all yet to make a pit stop here today. They have not come down pit road. They have not made a pit stop out there on the speedway. Everyone else back behind them has at least been down pit road since, I'm going to say, lap 28. Pretty much everybody else is still rolling out there on the racetrack, excluding Harrison Crosby. Unfortunately for Harrison, early issues down pit signs during green flag conditions. A couple black flags for that 7 truck. Finds himself scored back in the 24th position, and multiple laps down. Keith Prince also multiple laps down back in 23rd. David Trailer still down pit side here. Unfortunately, only ran 3 laps here this evening before parking that QH Designs number 54 machine. As here we go, back to green flag racing here from North Wilkesboro Speedway, as Jesse Calloway's got the race lead, looking to clear that 6th rider Rusty Modesty, and down the back straightaway, looks like he will take that race lead and look to try to run away with it, as we did see one driver turn around on the back straightaway. It's the 30 trucker, Justin Duran. Duran gonna go around here. Now, I'm not sure if he gets a little helping hand. Gets onto the apron right there out of corner number 2, and unfortunately it looks like he just loses that rear end. The C2 Graphics number 30 Ryan goes for a quick loop there. Unfortunately kisses that infield fence down on the apron, so no caution flag is thrown. But we do see Modesty battling back here, back down to the inside, will take the race lead away from a scrub daddy number 4, Jesse Calloway. So our 3rd race leader here this evening, Rusty Modesty, now out in front. He's got that top spot as our top 4. Obviously, track position seems to be the key to success here this evening, but tire wear is definitely going to play a factor in it. Tire wear, fuel mileage, it's all going to come into play here, and when do you take advantage of it? When do you put yourself down pit road to put yourself into potentially the winning position late in this race? Is look out, Stephen Luttrell, hard up into the outside fence there, out at corner number 4. Big hit there for that number 36, and it looks like he is going to get... No, Bruce Bernard, I think, is going to get the black flag here, the disqualification flag. But, man, that was a huge hit there for the Luttrell Racing number 36 machine. Heavy hit into that outside fence. You see that right front damage and how much that is, unfortunately, holding him back here, as you do see the number 29 of Andrew Hainsley blinking there quite a bit as well. And for Bruce Bernard, I believe he has got the disqualification flag, so he may have hit his incident limit marker. And for the 17 truck, looks like his night is going to be over after 49 laps of racing action. But here we go. Competition caution flag as we've officially hit our halfway marker here this evening from North Wilkesboro Speedway. 50 laps in, 50 laps left to go, and it's Rusty Modesty who will lead us here at the halfway marker. So halfway through this feature event, and now it's time, man. This is where decisions are going to be made. Will any of our top 3 who have yet to come down pit road stay out? It does not look like it. Here we go. Here it comes. Modesty, Calloway, Skylar Berry, they hit pit road. Everyone else back behind them, though, is going to stay out. So even the drivers that were last down pit road on lap 28 are going to take the track position over potentially getting new tires or extra little bit of fuel into their rides, as Brody Bente now with the race lead. So for all the Brody Bente fans in the stands, Brody leads this race. He's our 4th race leader here this evening. Rooster Rodden will be in position number 2. Clinton Woodby scored back in 3rd. Zach Kelly there in 4th. Brandon Combs, who is down pit road there on lap number 45. He's got the best position now out of any of the drivers that were down pit side back on lap 45. As Combs rolls there in that 5th position. Shane Morris scored in 6th. Joe Yakes back in 7th. Colton Hardy there in 8th. And then we do see our early race leader, our pole sitter out there on the speedway, Jack Drucker, back in 9th. Eric Hegdal there in 10th. Then we see John Salino, Matt Hayden, Evan Schilling, Rusty Modesty there in 13th. Jesse Calloway, Skylar Berry, Justin Durand. Unfortunately, it looks like Durand, not sure if he's fallen a lap down out there on the racetrack or not. No, it looks like he is still on the lead lap here, but unfortunately back down pit side there for that 30 truck, getting repaired, getting some fresh tires. He's going to roll back out and ready to go back to battle here. Stephen Luttrell also trying to get himself back into the hunt here as John Salino does come down pit road. Unfortunately here for John, he's going to get a black flag on pit road entry here during the caution flag. That is a huge mistake out of the Exalta number 24 Chevrolet, as that is going to put him down pit side. He'll get a hold here. He's going to have to either make a additional trip down pit road during green flag conditions, or he's going to get held down here for quite a while. So that is a heartbreaker there for John Salino, but we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to green flag racing. As out in front is Brody Bente. Bente has the top spot. He is the control truck here for this restart. And Brody looking to keep him back there at base. Look out! Tire spin from the 0-1. Everyone spread out. Oh no, Rooster Rodden. Big mistake there on the restart. And cautions, breeding cautions here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. As Rooster Rodden going to lose that rear end on this restart. Man, just looking for a big launch, trying to stay there with that number 63, and unfortunately just cannot keep the traction here for this 0-1 ride. Lose the rear end, goes around. Clinton Woodby gets some damage out of it. The 11 truck, our second heat race winner, Eric Hagdal, also getting some pretty solid contact there into the back bumper of the Lost Society Pennzoil number 0-1 rider, Rooster Rodden. Big hit there for Rooster, big hit for Eric Hagdal, and unfortunately a quick caution flag here. So cautions breeding cautions, and now we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to try to go back to green flag racing, try to get back to battle here this evening as they'll catch up to the back bumper of the official iRacing pace car. We'll get them all ready to rumble, ready to duke it out here once again in this one. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, again, make sure you guys hit the like button for us on the broadcast, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button as well, become part of the Peacemaker family here today, or be like our boy Fletcher, hit the join button, become a part of the Peacemaker members club here this evening, gain access to exclusive content, exclusive thumbnails and widgets and everything else here that you can use in the live streams and in our videos in the comments section as well, to just kind of liven up the chat and keep us rolling and to keep us fed up here in the broadcast booth. As Brody Bente gonna get ready for another big restart here. We just saw what happened to that 0-1 ride. I feel like, you know, he's been kind of seeing our race leaders choose that outside lane. That's kind of where they've been rolling. They've been loving that outside groove here, especially for these restarts. So I think he's probably going to stick with that one. I don't think we see him, taking the inside groove. And now if you're Rusty Clinton Woodby in the 92 ride in that Goldberg winning bid at Nascar Diecast and car brakes number 92 machine, you just saw what happened to the 0-1. You do not want the same fate. You do not want to put yourself into that same position. So for Clinton Woodby, he's either going to have to take it slow or just try to hope for a better outcome over that 92, or for that 92 truck, because it was a big hit for Rooster Rodden out there on the racetrack, and obviously it's going to be tough for him to battle back from that one. As here we go, back to green flag racing is down through the Echo Park restart zone. Here we go, Brody Bente with a great launch, great restart once again. This time Clinton Woodby able to keep his truck right there, rolling with them, trying to stay to the inside here of Brandon Gomes. But for Gomes, who pitted back on lap number 45 here, and some of the freshest tires inside our top 5 out there on the racetrack, working his way right back up into second, and now quickly shooting down to the inside, it is this number 28 of Brandon Gomes, who's been there in second. He's hassled our race leaders, and he's looking for the top spot here. So for Brody Bente, unfortunately, does not look like he's got much left in the tank there for the 28, as Brandon Gomes will jump up and take that race lead. Gomes now out in front as our new race leader, as the caution flag will be displayed. So the caution flag comes out as they're stacking up a little bit back here behind the field. It looks like John Salino, a couple of these other drivers, going to run into some issues here. Let's take a look and see, as, okay, you already see the 30 machine turn around right here. That's Justin Durand. Take a look here at Justin, as, okay, so looks like maybe him in the 76 make a little contact here. Let's keep playing it back here. Okay, so they're almost 3 wide down at a corner number 4. And for Shane Moore, it's kind of rolling the outside lane. I don't know if he just shoots for the middle, and the 30 ride's going for the middle as well. Fortunately, they just kind of run out of room here. The 30 truck and the 76, they make a little bit of contact. They both slide sideways here. Look at Colton Hardy just able to squeeze through there for Hardy. We do see the 76 ride. He ends up getting back into the 30 truck. You do see Matt Hayden. He's checked up. He gets a little contact into it. A big hit right there as that 24 machine of John Salino slides right into that left front quarter panel of the 30 ride. Pretty big hit there for that 30 machine. Let's see if we can jump on board here with him. See what he sees from the cockpit here for Justin Durand. Is Durand... Yeah, right here, see the 76 kind of come down in front of him a little bit, and that's all it takes. It does not take much, and then, man, big hit right there. Oh, man, it's a big hit as John Salino slides right into that left front. Unfortunately, that's going to put Justin Durand and a few more of these drivers down pit road for an extended period of time. Justin's down pit side, and it looks like he's actually lost a few laps already here, so he's hoping to get that thing back out there onto the speedway, not wanting to lose any laps and hoping to try to keep himself in the battle. Same with Shane Morris. Ronald Kingston's back down pit road, still trying to get that right front fixed up here, and for a lot of these drivers, man, losing laps, falling back here, running out of time in a quick hurry to try to keep themselves in the battle here at the front of the field. And you quickly see our early race leader, our pole sitter here, Jack Drucker. Drucker's working his way back up towards the front here, slowly but surely. And Cincinnati, number 56, the HendrickCars.com machine, now finds himself rolling in that 5th position, looking for at least 4 more spots. Wanted to jump back out in front. He wants to win this thing, man. He wants the bragging rights. He wants the $20 that's on the line. So we'll see if he can keep that 56 truck clean and race his way back up here into the battle in front of the field as Brandon Combs getting ready for a big restart here. This is the first restart that he will control as they head down through the Echo Park restart zone, and here we go, back to battle here at North Wilkesboro Speedway as Brandon Combs with the top spot. Brandon Bente, they're in position number 2. Decent restart there for that Heatwave 63 machine as here comes Joe Yakes. That 92 of Clinton Woodby's trying to keep that inside groove rolling as everyone's beating and banging, battling, trying to navigate their way to the front of the field. But out in front, it's Brandon Combs who's trying to run away with it, man. He wants to see some good green flag laps being laid down and hoping that he can work his way up and into victory lane here this evening as we do see the 8-rider Ronald Kingston run into some issues. He's going to go around again. Let's see if he can get rolling here. Hopefully no caution flag. Hopefully we keep it clean and green, and there we go. He does get rolling. No caution flag on the speedway. We'll keep it clean here out there on the racetrack. No yellow flag, and we keep on duking it out here, but our race leaders are quickly reeling into his back bumper, and that will bring them a little extra controversy to try to battle their way around some lap traffic and a bit of a beat up number 8 right out there as Ronald Kingston just trying to hang on to that truck here late in this race, but nice and easy down and through corner number 3 and at corner number 4 for Brandon Combs. He'll click off lap number 59 out there on the speedway, and for Combs, he's got himself just over a 1-second lead now between himself and Brody Bente. I think this is probably the biggest lead we've seen all evening long as Bente's trying to keep Joe Yakes, Jack Drucker back there at bay. The 92 of Clinton Woodby's falling all the way back into 5th as here comes Zach Kelly, Rusty Modesty, Jesse Calloway, Evan Schilling, and Stephen Luttrell rounding out our top 10 out there on the racetrack. As look out, there goes Brody Bente. Bente around and unfortunately parked up into the corner 2 fence. Caution flag is back out on the speedway. Heavy left front damage there. You see that front fender tore apart on that number 63 ride. Let's take a look and see what happens here to Brody. See the contact as may have gotten a helping hand here. May have just lost that rear end, but it looks like, yeah, Joe Yanks going to wash up the racetrack there on corner entry. Bounces into him, gives him a couple kisses there, and sends him on his way up into that outside fence. And unfortunately, some pretty solid damage there for the Heatwave Chevrolet. And you'll have to try to get that repaired and back into the battle as another caution flag here to stack them all up and bring the action right back to the rear bumper of our race leader, Brandon Combs. As Combs had a big lead, sitting pretty out in front, but now sees that lead evaporate, and it's our pole sitter, our early race leader at 56, Jack Drucker. Back up into second here. Drucker's in position number 2 as we did see Colton Hardy, Ronald Kingston, Joey Yakes, Brody Bente all come down pit road here. Justin Lee still rolling out there, scored back in the 18th position. Bruce Bernard's back into the action, scored back in 19th with Matt Hayden. It looks like Hayden took his truck off the racing surface. Shane Morris is scored in position number 21. Justin Duran looks like he took his truck back down behind pit wall. So has it. Well, no, Keith Prince still rolling there in 23rd. Harrison Crosby back in 24th. Gregory Wood Sr. and David Trailer look like they are done for the day. So a few drivers, unfortunately, no longer in the action, no longer in contention here this evening, but still a lot of laps left to duke it out here. Still a lot of laps left to battle out there on the racetrack. And for Brandon Combs, he's going to have his hands full now. Will he be able to hold off Jack Drucker here for what could be potentially a lot of restarts and obviously some good green flag laps under their belt as well? So he could really have his hands full here throughout this feature event. For each and every one of these drivers, they are ready to get back after it. They're ready to duke it out here once again as the lights are off. The official iRacing pace car, that Ford Mustang, will make the hard left-hand turn back down pit side. That will forfeit the race lead and control back over to the 28 of Brandon Combs. We'll get ready to go back to green flag racing. We'll jump right into our Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, crank up that volume and cheer on your favorite drivers here in the Full Throttle Outlaws Racing League. A couple issues here. Caution flag is back out. Let's play it back and take a look at it. Now, we did see a couple problems, one being the 17 truck. Bruce Bernard going to run into some more issues here. Looks like Bruce down and out of quarter number 4. Looks like he is potentially going to get a little help or potentially just lose the rear end here of that B2 Motorsports Gatorade number 17 machine. But it looks like, yeah, he definitely gets a helping hand here. The 87 of Joe Yakes washes up the track, gets into the 17 truck. Unfortunately, tough spot to get into somebody as it just turns them around out there on the racetrack. They get collided again there. Pretty solid damage for the 17 and for the 87. And as that caution flag was being thrown, the 77 truck shooting it down into corner number 1. Lose that rear end, and unfortunately for Evan Schilling, gonna go for a bit of a slide here. Gonna loop it down to the infield. Luckily enough, no major contact or damage there for that 77 truck, but a few issues there as we were trying to get rolling here, trying to get a few more good laps under our belt. A couple problems and another restart now on the horizon as we'll get ready to stack them up, rack them up, ready to go back to green flag racing here in just a couple more moments. So for Brandon Combs, he'll be looking to once again hold these guys off, keep them back there at bay for another big restart here on the evening, as Jack Drucker will get another opportunity to try to go after him here for that race lead. And this is what could come down to, could just come down to track position. Having that race lead late in the battle here this afternoon could be the winning spot out there on the racetrack. Drucker is going to have to really try to find that extra gear to jump up here and try to steal top spot away from the United States Bowling Congress number 28 ride, the USBC, the Bowling Congress. That is a interesting name for a bowling league, that is for certain. I don't know if I've ever heard of a bowling league being called the Bowling Congress. That is a pretty aggressive political name right there, so that's a pretty crazy one. But nonetheless, here for the USBC machine, gonna get ready to try to keep him back there at bay as we'll jump back into our Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up. So again, crank up that volume and cheer on your favorite drivers. We crank it up here on Peacemaker Gaming. Alrighty, a beautiful crank it up sessions. We get some great green flag laps under our belt as out in front, continuing to lead the way. It's the 28 of Brandon Combs. Combs continues to hold on to the top spot out there on the speedways. They've been beating and banging. They switched spots a couple times. We saw the 56 working underneath of Combs there, almost took that race lead away from him, just could not clear him, and unfortunately with lap traffic coming into play, had to dip back down in behind the 28 ride, and unfortunately just could not work his way back around that 28 machine. So for Combs, late in this race, he's got the top spot, he's got the track position that he may need to put himself up and into victory lane, as Tyler Courtney in the chat says, come on, 63 and 38. Cheered on Mr. Brody Bente and that number 38 of Justin Lee. Unfortunately for Lee, a couple laps down now in that Coolers Banquet ride as the 38, you see the damage there on that truck, obviously struggling here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Very, very tough racetrack, but for a lot of these drivers, that caution flag was a big one as green flag pit stops were on the horizon, and now here we go. We see Rusty Modesty, Eric Hegdal, Clinton Woodby, Jesse Calloway, Stephen Luttrell, Zach Kelly, Evan Schilling, Ronald Kingston, John Salino, Andrew Hainsley, all coming down pit side here, making this pit stop during the caution flag, and that's going to make things very, very interesting, as I'm not 100% sure where this caution flag kind of arose from or who may have gotten collected in it. Let's take a look and see if there was anyone spun around, if there was anyone that ran into an issue here. I don't see any trucks turned around, so I'm not sure where this caution flag kind of came out, but nonetheless, we do see the yellow flag fly, and that's going to bring all these drivers right back tight together. Now, obviously, some late race strategy. Drivers going for tires, going for fuel here late in this race. Will they be able to work their way back to the front of the field here? Brandon Combs, Jack Drucker, looks like they're going to go with having that track position, being out on that front row, maybe the winning move here. Looks like Yanks, Skylar Berry, Colton Hardy, Brody Bente are all going to agree with that thesis. They're going to stay out here, so isn't Rooster Ronin. So our top 7 will be on older tires here. Older tires, a little bit less fuel as well. Everyone back behind them, starting from the 6th machine of Rusty Modesty, Clinton Woodby, man, they'll be in tow. Fresh tires, full tank of fuel. What do they got up their sleeve? Can they make a run? Can they make a push here for the win this afternoon? We're about to find out. Is this going to be a very exciting closing 12 laps of racing action here? We may not be done with the yellow flags. The craziness may continue to unfold here this evening as they'll get stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to green flag battle, because pace car makes the hard left-hand turn back down pit side. They'll head down through 3 and out at corner number 4 as they hit that Echo Park restart zone. Brandon Combs with the control here. He gets the fire first, and there you go. Gets a great launch, good restart. Pretty much able to clear that 56. He'll have to battle hard down through 1 and 2 to keep that 56 ride from his left rear quarter panel, and luckily enough, he's able to. So for Brandon Combs, right back in front. Jack Drucker will fall back into 2nd. Skylar Berry jumps up into 3rd as here comes Joe Yanks, Brody Bente, and hang on to the 0-1 of Rooster Ronin, slideways down and out of corner number 4 right there. Luckily enough, able to catch it, but the caution flag does come out as Jesse Calloway's turned around. Calloway's around. Andrew Hainsley gets a piece of it. Unfortunately, a few tore up race trucks here as another late race caution flag will be displayed. Now for Calloway, he was one of those drivers with fresh tires trying to work his way forward here. He's got older tires in front of him, maybe pushing a little too hard, and oh no, it's Clinton Woodby. Woodby sends it in there too deep, down low to the inside here, and for the 92 truck, man, just takes a big run. You can see the flames coming out of it. He's trying to get checked up. Unfortunately, maybe just a bad angle or something here, carrying just a little too much momentum. Rear end steps out on him, slides up the racetrack into the left rear quarter panel of the Scrub Daddy number 4 machine. Unfortunately, nowhere to go there for our second heat race winner on the day, the Red Bull number 11 machine, as Hagdal's going to get some damage out of it. Looks like Colton Hardy may have gotten a little bit of a lick into it. Same with Stephen Luttrell there in that 36 ride, but there comes 29 right of Hainsley, the 7 truck of Crosby getting checked up there. Unfortunately for the 29, does get a little bit of damage as the caution flag comes back out. Another restart on the horizon here for each and every one of these drivers. So another yellow flag and another restart. That's just going to bring it a little bit closer here to the checkered flag for this 28 truck of Brandon Combs. But Combs has got to be very, very cautious, man. These late race restarts, these late race problems, just opens up the door for drivers to, continue to build up that pressure, that intensity, and everything else to his back bumper to try to work their way around that USBC number 28 ride. So Combs is going to have his hands full here late in this race. It also brings some of those fresher tires that much closer back to the front of the field here as Colton Hardy slid back a couple spots. We saw obviously the number 01 of Rooster Rod, and he fell back quite a few positions there. So that moves the 6th rider, Rusty Modesty, up and into the 6th position here for this restart. Now the Red Bull number 11, even though he's got better tires here for Eric Hegdal, and a little bit of damage there on that number 11 ride. Will that unfortunately affect his truck and keep him back there at bay, and unfortunately not being able to get the runs that he may be looking for late in this race? We'll have to wait and see as pace car makes that hard left-hand turn back down pit side, and here we go. Oh, baby, this is going to be fun. This is going to be interesting because these guys are not going to back down. They are not going to stop pushing and shoving and trying to battle in their way to the point here. And here we go. Big restart there for Jack Drucker. Drucker with the restart he's been looking for stays even with the 28 as they'll battle door to door, down and out at corner number 2. Back down into 3 here. Now the 28 right sends it in there deep. 56 down low. This has been a good spot here on that bottom lane. Some big runs as they're tied together. Oh no, Skylar Berry hooked up into the outside fence. Caution flag will be displayed as, oh man, heartbreaker there for Barry and that 87 of Joe Yakes. Yakes with a big run here. Rolling the outside groove, getting a good restart with that 46 ride, and you see Modesty's right there poking his nose into the middle, and they're too wide down and out of corner number 4, and it just looks like the 46 of Barry. I'm not sure if you thought he was clear. He may have been clear for a split second or two, but that gap closed up in a quick hurry, and unfortunately, he's just going to slide up and into that Expeditions number 87 ride of Joe Yakes. Yakes just really nothing he could do right here. He's got nowhere else to go. He's already rolling the outside lane, and there you go, just not quite clear. And unfortunately, the invincible ride meets Yakes there on the speedway. They get tied together. 46 up into the outside fence. Pretty solid contact there for both of them. And unfortunately, that does bring out the caution flag again here on the speedway. So another late race yellow. And unfortunately for Skylar Berry, things are just going to get worse here as he's going to receive a black flag down pit side here as well. Too fast entering pit road for that 46 machine. Unfortunately, that may keep him pit side here for an extended period of time as he'll look to get some fresh tires, fuel, trying to get himself back into the battle. But if he's got to serve a penalty here, it may keep him, unfortunately, back there deep in the field. But it looks like that black flag may have been waved off for Barry, so that may have been a great break there for the 46. The black flag has been cleared for Andrew Hainsley. Unfortunately, it looks like Andrew is going to lose a lap here down pit road to our race leader. So for Andrew, that will keep him, unfortunately, a little farther back here, but we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to go back after it again. And if you're Jack Drucker, man, Drucker with a perfect restart right there. I don't know if he timed it right or if he has kind of caught on to the game plan out of that USBC number 28 ride of Brandon Combs. But if he's kind of figured out his restart area, if he finds out kind of his tendencies here, that may open up the door for Drucker to try to steal this late race lead from that 28 ride and try to put himself into victory lane, as it looks like We're going single file for the restart here. Looked like maybe we were going to go double file again, but it looks like we're going to go back to single file. Looks like Yanks able to keep his spot as well there after getting tied together with that number 46. Luckily enough, doesn't look like too much damage there for Joe Yanks, so that's a great break there for the 87 as he'll stick in position number 4, but it is single file restart here. Inside 10 laps left to go, and that's exactly what Brandon Combs wanted to see, is that's another big restart for the 28 truck. Obviously does not have that 56 working to his inside groove, but here comes some fresher tires back behind them. Can the 6 ride Rusty Modesty make quick work here of this 56 machine of Drucker work his way into second? Maybe those late race tires may be the winning move here, as Modesty's going to work to the inside here for position number 2. He slides up the track though, leaning on that 56, making contact down through 1 and 2. Luckily enough, they're both able to keep their trucks pointed in the right direction here, and for Drucker able to hold on to position number 2, but the caution flag will fly here again late in this race, as it looks like Zach Kelly, Evan Schilling's going to run into some problems here. Let's take a look here at the 21 ride of Zach Kelly, as Kelly sends it into the corner, gets a little bit loose right there, and then just tightens up trying to wash and not to wash up the racetrack too much into Colton Hardy, and unfortunately as he does so, just kind of gets up there, loses a lot of speed, a lot of momentum. That's where you see the 77 truck Evan Schilling going to drive right into his back end right here. They get tied together. Big hit there for the 77. Huge rear end damage for the 21 ride. And unfortunately, I believe they're just going to get tied together again. Both drivers end up into the outside fence. Major contact there for both cats, man. Big damage there for Evan Schilling and for Zach Kelly late in this race, as another caution flag and another late race restart here on the horizon, as Brandon Combs going to look for another big restart, man. Another big restart on the horizon. Another opportunity for Jack Drunker, Rusty Modesty, that number 87 of Joe Yakes. Eric Hagdahl, our second heat race winner, now up and into that 5th position. Does he have something left in the tank here for these guys? Can he jump back into the battle for the race win here this evening? You'll take a look a little farther back behind them. In that 6th position, it's Brody Bente in position number 6 on the Speedway, with Stephen Luttrell there in position number 7. Colton Hardy, our top 8 out there on the Speedway. Ronald Kingston and Jesse Calloway rounding out our top 10 as Clinton Woodby, John Salino, Skylar Berry, Andrew Hainsley, our top 14 out there on the racetrack. Looks like Zach Kelly will stay on the lead lap. He scored back in 15th, with Justin Lee scored back in that 16th position on the racetrack. Evan Schilling, Bruce Bernard, Shane Morris, Keith Prince, Rooster Rodden, Harrison Crosby, Matt Hayden, Justin Durand, Gregory Wood Sr., and David Trailer bringing up the rear of the field as Courtney says, "Come on, Brody!" Cheering on Brody here this afternoon, hoping to see that 63 machine get a good solid run here this afternoon, as Tyler Courtney in the chat says, "Come on, Mr. Brody Bente," out there on the Speedway. As here we go, stacked up, racked up, ready to get back after it here from North Wilkesboro Speedways down through the Echo Park restart zone. The number 28 of Brandon Combs. Great restart, great launch here with only 7 laps left to go here. Now, more caution flags could be on the horizon here. More restarts could be up for grabs for Jack Drucker, Rusty Modesty, some of these other drivers to try to stick with that 28 ride to give him a run for his money, to try to steal the race win away from that 28 ride. But Brandon Combs looking to run away with it, looking to try to keep these guys back there in his tire mark, and hoping to try to put himself up and into the winner's circle for the first time here this season with the Full Throttle Outlaws Truck Series. As here we go, Modesty again taking a look down to the inside. Can't quite get the run he was looking for out at corner number 4 to stick there to the inside of that city number 56 ride, but down at corner number 2 gets that run he was looking for. He'll stay to the inside of the 56 there, door to door for position number 2, with only 4 laps left to go. That's exactly exactly what Brandon Combs wants to see. Combs wants to see them stay door to door, duking it out here for that second spot on the racetrack, as that's going to allow him to open up a little bit more of a lead to try and pull away, as Modesty needs to clear this 56 ride. And there it is! He slides up, he clears the 56, so Modesty into second. Does Rusty have enough time? It's one thing to catch him, it's another thing to work your way around him, and he won't have to worry about chasing him down, as the caution flag will be displayed late again here in this feature event. Another caution flag here. Looks like Andrew Hainsley going to run into issues here. Looks like Andrew's going to run into another problem. Let's take a look back at that Dodge Ram. Number 29 truck is out of corner number 4. Just loses the rear end. Goes for a slide. Slight kiss there to the infield safer barrier, but our flag man getting a great look at it, quickly throws that caution flag out, and another late race restart now for this number 28 of Brandon Combs. Now for Combs, he's going to have a new driver on his back bumper, one with quite a bit fresher tires here, about 43 lap better tires than that number 28 ride, and that could be the difference maker. That could be exactly what Modesty needs to be able to try to jump up, get a good restart, maybe steal the top spot in the double way from Brandon Combs. But it's tough to make passes, man. We saw how long it took for that Sinclair Dino Care number 6 ride to work his way up and into second here. I don't think he can battle that long door to door, nose to tail with this 28 ride. He's got to make quick work here of Brandon Combs if he wants to try to put himself up and into victory lane. And for each and every one of these drivers, if there are more caution flags, if we do go to NASCAR overtime here in more and more late race restarts, time constraints are going to come into play here. They have this race allotted to 80 minutes of racing action. We're currently sitting at 75 minutes and counting down here. So they are running out of time here for this feature event as well. So we need to see this white flag, the checkered flag, be displayed and see these guys duke it out here on the racing surface. We don't want to see this race end under yellow, as here we go. Pace truck back down into the infield. 28 ride of Brandon Combs, ready to try to keep him back there at bay. Is down through that Echo Park restart zone. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you came here for a show. Well, here you go, as Brandon Combs, great restart, great launch there with 2 laps left to go. Can he hold off Modesty? Modesty with a good run down to the inside. Unfortunately, great run to the outside for Combs, able to carry that speed and momentum. Will take the lead down into corner number 3. Nice and easy at corner number 4. Back down across the line. He will see the white flag fly. So the white flag is in the air here for Brandon Combs. He's got one more corner to keep Modesty back there at bay. Does Modesty give him the chrome dome? Does he give him the bump and run as they send it down into corner number 3? Nice and easy out of 4. Looks like they'll drag race back down to the line, but Modesty cannot get there, as Brandon Combs will pick up the checkered flag here in our first race back with the Full Throttle Outlaws Truck Series, man. What a run, what a race, what a performance from each and every one of these drivers, man. A crazy afternoon here at the Speedway. A lot of beating and banging, a lot of bumping out there at North Wilkesboro Speedway. It was to be expected. We knew it was going to be a dogfight all night long. And for Brandon Combs, man, having that track position, having that top spot and those restarts late in this race is exactly what he needed to capture the victory here in our first race back, and wins the Full Throttle Clash here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up here to our race winner, Brandon Combs, man. What a run. What a drive, what a performance there by Combs and all of these drivers, man. Let's get some congratulations in the chat for Combs and each and every one of your favorite drivers, man. Let them know you were watching. Let them know that you wanted to see them park their way up here into victory lane this afternoon. Unfortunately, only one driver gets the dub, and here tonight it's Brandon Combs who gets the win and puts himself up and into victory lane. We'll get ready to pull him and the rest of our top 3 up and into the broadcast booth for their post-race interviews. Post-race interviews coming up next, as we'll wait for Brandon Combs, Rusty Modesty, and Jack Drucker to jump up into the booth. And here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, our race winner, Brandon Combs. Hey, Brandon, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker broadcasting booth. Do you get a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Brandon, man, what a run, what a race this evening, man. Take us back through what's going through your mind after 100 laps of racing action, beating and banging, battling, trying to work your way out in front. And there, probably about, 30, 40 laps left to go. You finally find your way to that point, and ever since then, you never looked back. Even with Drucker there on your back bumper, Modesty late in this race, and so many other fast cats trying to steal this race lead away from you, you never faltered, never really made a mistake, and never opened up that door for them to steal this win away from you as you park yourself up and into the North Wilkesboro Speedway victory lane. Brandon, take us back through it and what's going through your mind.
Yeah, a lot of pressure there at the end, that's for sure, and props to them guys for all racing clean. But yeah, beginning of the race, I was kind of just pacing Drucker and just trying to see where I could beat him and where I could at least keep up with him to break even. Worst case, trying to move around and do something. I felt like the bottom was probably the best place to run, just following him, trying to take care of the truck and the tires and stuff. I mean, you got to burn it faster early in the race. You're kind of screwing yourself up a little bit there towards the end if you get caught up in something. So it's kind of just clicking laps off and just trying to keep some track position. And then around the halfway break, it got a little edgy on what to do on strategy-wise. And then at the end, the 6 pitted there and got some fresh tires there. So it's kind of hard to really hold off on them, but it seemed like having the cautions and getting the tires to cool off seemed to help it. That's for sure towards the end.
Yeah, absolutely. We knew tires were play there late in this race. Obviously, fuel was always a big question mark as well. And when you guys were going to elect to come down pit road, and we've seen a lot of races play out like this. Obviously, a lot of caution flags, a lot of restarts here, and a lot of times it plays out the exact same way like we did here tonight, and that is just those late race restarts, and the guy that's out in front and that has control of those restarts tends to find their way into victory lane. So it was all about kind of just cycling through those pit stops and having yourself out in front to put yourself into victory lane, and that played out exactly how I figured it was going to. And for yourself, obviously it played out perfectly for you here this afternoon.
Seemed to work out pretty well there with those restarts kind of timing out right to get the tires to cool back off, to be able to have a little bit of fire off pace. I thought I might have screwed it up and threw it away. I got in the outside wall going into one. I just overdrove the corner and it kind of just plowed the front end. I was like, oh boy. And thankfully I didn't get stuck in it. I mean, I didn't want to hit the wall, that's for sure, but it definitely made it more interesting than what it probably should have been, that's for sure.
Yeah, it definitely made it very, very interesting. Obviously, late in this race, there's fresh tires back there behind you. Modesty's going to be pushing hard to try to steal this win away from you. On that final restart, what was kind of going through your mind? Did you think maybe a bump and run was coming? Did you just try to, hit your marks and hope that, if it was to come, that you were going to be able to try to, just, kind of bounce off of them and keep yourself rolling out there on the speedway?
Yeah, I was definitely a little nervous there for that last restart. Didn't have Drucker behind me. I know he was on the same tires that I was on, so that kind of I knew he was going to get a little bit of a better start. 6 was, so I just tried to change up my restart a little bit and able to get a good jump, and then it was really just focus ahead and try to just run qualifying laps the best that I could on these older tires compared to what he had. Yeah, I mean, thankfully it worked out, but I feel like if it was going to happen 10 times, I probably only win it 2 out of 10 maybe, but yeah, just happy to walk away with a win, and thanks to everybody that puts this league on and able to let me come in and run for the first time with this league, so it's pretty cool to pick up a win right out of the box.
Yeah, right out of the box, first race of the season, obviously no points on the line, but a lot of bragging rights and now some momentum going into the regular season. Can we expect more and more dubs here of this 28 run? You feel like you're going to be a threat for, maybe a championship run here in Season 2 of the Full Throttle Outlaws Racing League?
I'd like to hope so. I mean, there's a lot of races out there, so I mean, you got 23 races total, and I think it's 12 races to get into the top 12 in points to be able to run for a championship. So it's really just a race to get to the top 12 and be able to get your spot into the final 10 and just be able to have that opportunity and chance to run for a championship. But hopefully we're able to get some more wins throughout the year, and yeah, good momentum builder for Daytona. And momentum goes a long way in racing, that's for sure.
Absolutely, man. We can't wait to see you guys back in action again next Friday night. But Brandon, here tonight, man, great run, great performance. Anyone else you'd like to thank here for a great drive out there on the racetrack?
Yeah, just got to say thanks to all the guys on the truck. Thanks to the broadcast team for putting this on. It's pretty cool. Everyone behind the league doing all the work, all the admins and everybody else. I know it takes a lot of time and effort to go in and do all this stuff. And thanks to you guys again at the broadcast team. And gotta say thanks to Black Betty Racing. And yeah, hopefully we can get some more wins.
Absolutely, brother. Well, we look forward to seeing you up here in the booth more and more throughout this season. And obviously, as I said, many trips up here into Victory Lane and maybe right back up here in Victory Lane next Friday night. Brandon, congrats on the dump here tonight, man. We'll see you back out there on the racetrack in the next one.
Yeah, thanks, man. Cheers.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our race winner, Brandon Combs, as Combs picks up the dub and pulls the 28 up and into Victory Lane here in our Full Throttle Clash, live from North Wilkesboro Speedway. So we'll get ready now to pull in our second place finisher, the 6th ride of Rusty Modesty. First, we got Sonographic Designs in the chat, says great finish. Tyler Courtney also says great finish, man. Great racing, everyone. Carol Hainsley says. Jay Lee says thanks, Tyler. Laugh out loud. He's been cheering you on all night long, Jay. He's been cheering you on, wishing the best for you out there on the racetrack, man. As Ghost the Mod coming in says, yo, great broadcast. I'm the number 63 of Brody Bente. Brody, what's good, brother? How are you, man? Well, how you doing? Says, what's up, dude? What's up, brother? What's up, dude? Great run, great race, man. Brody just outside the top 5 there. Solid effort, solid drive there for Mr. Bente as he had himself right in the action, right in the thick of it. Led some laps here this evening, man. Truck looked clean, looked good out there on the racetrack in a solid performance here for his first race here with the Full Throttle Outlaws Racing League. But we'll get ready now to pull in our second place finisher, the 6th ride of Mr. Rusty Modesty. Hey, Rusty, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
Good to hear from you.
Yeah, always great to have you up here in the booth, Rusty. But, man, that was a heck of a show and a heck of a run for you here this evening. A lot of trucks passed, a lot of beating and banging, and they're late in this race. With those fresh tires, try to navigate your way back up to the front. You're able to slowly but surely make your way up there. You finally work your way around that 56 of Jack Drucker, and then you have to go to work here late in this race. You only get one restart, one opportunity to try to steal this win away from Brandon Combs. Unfortunately, just could not quite get enough. At a core number 4 to Trank Race and beat him back to the line here as he's able to pick up the dub and keep himself, half a truck length ahead of you there across the line. But take us back through it. What's going through your mind after a long night of racing action here from North Wilkesboro Speedway?
Yeah, better finish than what I imagined. I don't know, maybe I think I did 13 laps of practice and couldn't figure it out, and just said, "Screw it, I'll figure it out during the race." And then accidentally qualified pretty well, and so put myself into a decent spot to start out with. But I didn't know what to do on the first lap of this race. So luckily, starting behind Brandon and Jack, was able to kind of follow them around and kind of learn the line. And then once that happened, I was good. So by lap 5, I felt like, hey, I was on good pace. And man, yeah, Brandon, Jack, myself, I felt like we were all three kind of pacing each other, and it provided really good racing. So I think it turned into what I felt was like a single groove. And if you're anywhere else, it was just hard to get anything done, hard to pass unless someone really made a mistake or washed up the track or something like that. But or there was contact. So but no, we're just trying to be clean tonight, trying to see what we can do. So happy to come away with P2 and darn good battle there. Majority of the race with Brandon and Jack. I was hoping the tires would be a little bit better to squeak past them, but boy, by about lap 8 on those tires, it felt like I had 100 on them. So just wasn't enough to squeeze out, but either way, enough to put on a good show.
Yeah, put on an amazing show for us, an exciting way to end this race, and obviously on that final restart, man, we knew you were going to have a couple more shots, a couple more opportunities to try to get around him there. Obviously on the penultimate lap, couldn't quite get the run you were looking for, but on that final lap, you got right back down to his inside. Was there ever thought of, maybe roughing him up a little bit, trying to beat and bang for that race lead, or were you just going to keep it clean and Trank Race back to the start-finish line?
Yeah, no, listen, if I'm gonna pass them, I'm gonna pass them legit, and I'm gonna pass because I'm faster than them, not just because I know how to wreck. So Yeah, and listen, Brandon, Jack, both of these guys are new to the league. Not exactly the behavior that that we want in this league, or that anyone wants to race around. So, no, let your skills speak. Don't let your temper speak, and just stay cool and try to beat him on speed. If you can't, then hats off. Brandon took the crown today because he was faster. So.
Absolutely. We love that, man. Just good, hard, amazing racing out there on the speedway and tight battling right down to the checkered flag. And for yourself, you park it in position number 2. Obviously, a non-points race, but a good momentum builder heading into our regular season opener next Friday night, man. How you feeling going into season number 2 now of the Full Throttle Outlaws Racing League?
Yeah, it'll be fun. This is an awesome group to race with. It is competitive, but it's fun. No one takes it too seriously, and there may be short-term tempers, but they always kind of work themselves out, and at the end, everyone just becomes better friends. So, no, it's a good group. We have some new members coming in and testing their skills, and looks like we got some fast ones. So, love adding to the competition, and man, it just makes the races more dynamic and more enjoyable.
Absolutely. Just makes things that much better for us up here in the broadcast booth and in the grandstands as well to watch you guys duke it out each and every single Friday night for the next few months. So it's going to be a long season, but a great season and a lot of great racing like we saw here tonight. We look forward to seeing you guys back in action for the regular season opener next Friday night. But here tonight, Rusty, a solid second place run, brother. Who'd you like to thank for such a great performance out there on the racetrack?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, to the admins that are help putting this on. Having experience, I know it can be stressful and just a time sink at times. So thankful for them because it is enjoyable. Thanks to you for broadcasting and putting this on, and all the friends and family like watching it. And then shout out to Misfit Motorsports, and all the guys that we race with every week. Uh, Jimmy Fitzmaurice and his wife Lindsay, and yeah, all the other members in the league, all the new guys. Welcome in, and hope you all enjoy it.
Absolutely, brother. Well, Rusty, congrats on the second place run, man. We can't wait to see you back out there in action again next Friday, man. Hopefully, get you right back up here in the broadcast booth.
Definitely. Thanks again.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Thanks.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our second place finisher, Rusty Modesty. Modesty comes home in position number 2. Solid drive there for the number 6 ride. As we'll get ready now to pull in our third place finisher, another newcomer here. He was our first heat race winner. He led the first 45 laps of this feature event. I thought for certain he was going to give Brandon Combs a little bit more run for his money, but it's the 56 of Jack Drucker, who comes home in position number 3. Let's get Jack up here into the broadcast booth. Hey, Jack, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker broadcasting booth. Do you get a copy?
I do have a copy, Aaron. How are you?
Not too bad. Jack, man, what a run. What a race for you here tonight, man. Obviously, super fast truck here this afternoon. We saw you there, obviously qualifying in the pole for your heat race. You jump out there, you lead all 15 laps, you win that first heat race of the day, which puts you in the pole position for this feature event, and it was more of the same out of the get-go. You lead the first 45 laps of this feature event until you finally decide to come down pit road, and then from that point on, it was just a battle back to the front here, and unfortunately, Brandon Combs was able to work his way through the traffic a little quicker than you were, and then it just seemed like there late in this race, you just could not make that pass. You could not find your way back around that 28 machine. Didn't make a whole lot of mistakes. Didn't open up the door for you to move back around him. We saw you battle door to door a few times with him. Just could not quite complete the pass there, and ended up having to, battle there late in the race with fresh tires, and Modesty able to steal that second spot away from you. But brother, take us back through this one, because that was a hell of a show you put on for us.
Well, I appreciate that, and tip the hat to Brandon and Rusty there, because that was great racing all around between the three of us. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, you had to pit at some point, right? You had to come get tires, and kind of had a little iRacing moment with the 11 coming out of the pits because I was in his truck, and then got a blend line violation coming out of the pits under caution, which is pretty dopey on my part. But it's like I didn't know where I was, so then that kind of put me a few spots behind Brandon, and then got through the traffic, and then eventually got back to him. And I mean, you know how racing works, right? It's like you can be the guy that's just gonna send somebody and take the cheap shot, or you're gonna try to race him straight up, and that's what I was trying to do with Brandon. I wasn't gonna lean on him. I wasn't gonna move him. It's not how we race. So yeah, he did a very very consistent job staying up there, doing his line, making sure like not crowding, not doing anything cheap. So serious tip of the cap to him. He did a great job, and yeah, Rusty really came out of nowhere there late, huh? Him and those tires, but yeah, no, I'm grateful to come home P3. It's a really good showing considering I joined the league at 5 o'clock today and bought the track at 7. So yeah, no, it's good. That was my biggest thing coming into this race. I just want to make sure we had pace, had a good truck, kind of get the feel for everybody around us, and I think we definitely did that. So hopefully as the season goes here, just stay in contention and have a few fall our way.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you showed that you got the speed here to be able to get it done and potentially win a few races here on the year. And obviously, North Wilkesboro, I mean, you just bought the track. You didn't really get a whole lot of, practice here at the Speedway. And this is a tricky, tricky racetrack, man. It takes some drivers a long time to kind of figure it out. It's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of like a combination between Richmond and Martinsville. How would you sum this racetrack up, and how did you kind of find the speed that you did in such a short amount of time here coming to North Wilkesboro for the first time here in these NASCAR trucks?
Well, I'll be honest, my first lap in practice, I'm stuck in the fence thinking I had a lot more grip than I did. And then you get back to the pits and you see the tires are only 80 degrees. And I don't think I've ever seen tires that were that cold to fire off. So kind of learned the importance of getting heat in them. I think you probably see that on the broadcast, how much I was swerving, dragging brakes and doing all that crazy stuff trying to get some heat in them. Cause it's like usually, hotter races, they kind of fire off, put a little heat in them, but it's not a big deal. But these things were like, I'm pretty sure there's a few penguins in the grandstands. So once you kind of learn how to get the heat in them, it was good. And then, yeah, you kind of said it was like Martinsville and Richmond. The Richmond comparison, I could definitely see for how straight, try to get off the corner. There's a little bit of Bristol in it, and 1 and 2 probably as well, for how you can kind of like drive it in there deep, wash up in the center, and get down again on exit. Um, yeah, no, it's definitely a fun track. It for sure was a fun track, a lot more fun than I was expecting, especially being colder out. It's usually a little bit trickier to pass, but yeah, I think everybody put on a really good show tonight. I know the cautions were kind of unfortunate, but it was a really racy track. I felt like it was in our hands as drivers that we could do what we needed to do, and it wasn't just a parade. Nobody could do anything. So that's always good for us and for y'all in the booth.
Yeah, absolutely. And you guys still put on a wicked show, even with those caution flags. I mean, they're kind of to be expected here. A race that has no points on the line. Everyone's kind of first race together and trying to figure out everyone's, drivability and kind of your tendencies out there on the racetrack. And when you come to a short track, I mean, in any league, you're going to see some fireworks. You're going to see some caution flags and some issues kind of come up. And obviously, for our first race together, I mean, it went a lot smoother than I thought it was actually going to. We saw a lot of good green flag laps being laid down there here and there, and some really good stretches of green flag laps out there on the racetrack.
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially even that final stint, once kind of got through traffic and I got to Brandon, that was a really fun little duel. Just trying to pick lanes and keep it underneath and just see what we kind of had. And I wish we almost got a little bit longer runs, because I think if I did have a chance to pass him, without having to rough him up or do any of that nonsense, it was going to be on the long run, and hopefully just, keep working him over. But once you kind of get the cautions and they get fire off because they cool off a little bit, and then for the first 2 laps they're pretty good. Kind of is what it is. But I think as we get into some of these other like mile and a half races and things, it's going to be different. But like I said at the top of this interview, just knowing that there's pace in the truck, and it's like, okay, should have like a top 7 truck at the worst most weeks, fingers crossed. So as long as we stay in contention, stay up front, keep it clean, we'll find ourselves in position to win a few here soon. So I mean, even tonight had a chance. So that's really all you can ask for, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's all you can ask for, man, and we can't wait to see you right back up here in the broadcast booth throughout the regular season and through many of the playoffs, picking up some big W's along the way here on the season. But Jack, here in our season opener, you parked the 56 up on the podium, brother. Who'd you like to thank for such a great run and strong performance out there on the Speedway?
Well, I'll give a tip of the hat again to my teammate Brandon Combs. He ran an awesome race tonight, so congratulations to him. Congrats to Rusty on a good P2. He had a hell of a run there to the line. I know I got some family and friends out there watching, mom and dad and a few people, so shout out to them. And shout out to you guys in the booth. We appreciate you putting us on and, you know, making some late entries here, getting the truck through tech and all that good stuff. So, yeah, we appreciate you, and on to Daytona.
Absolutely, brother. We can't wait to see you guys back in action again next Friday, and hopefully we'll see this 56 machine right back up here in the broadcast booth.
See you next week, Aaron. Hopefully.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our third place finisher, Jack Drucker. Drucker comes home in position number 3. Very solid run. Great drive for him here this afternoon. And if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys do us a favor, man. Hit the like button on the broadcast. Even if you're rewatching the broadcast, man, make sure you guys hit the thumbs up button for us. Drop a comment or two. And make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, man. Become part of the Peacemaker family here today. And to everyone that came in and showed the love here this evening, man, we can't appreciate you guys enough as we do see our boy Ronald Bearded Jeeper Kingston coming in, hitting that subscribe button. Ronald becoming a brand new member of the Peacemaker family here today, hitting that subscribe button. Welcome to the Fam Jam here this afternoon, Ronald, hitting that sub button, becoming a brand new member of the Peacemaker family here this evening. Huge shout out again to my boy Jay Lee as well. Jay Lee, our boy, coming in showing the big love here this afternoon with the $50 donation as well. Huge shout out to him. That is absolutely insane, man. That is absolutely insane. I can't thank you enough for that one, man. Heart goes out to Jay coming in, showing the big love here in this one. And obviously, huge shout out as well again to our boy Fletcher as well. Mr. Fletcher coming in, showing the love, hitting the join button, becoming a part of the Peacemaker Members Club as well. Hitting that join button, becoming the Peacemaker Members Club, man. It's cheaper than a McDouble at McDonald's, or at least up here in Canada it's cheaper. McDouble up here in Canada is now like $4. And I believe our members channel, you know, you get all the exclusive content, you get exclusive, emotes and everything else for the comment section. I believe it's only $2.99, so it's cheaper than a McDouble, but helps us out a ton, helps us keep the lights on, helps us do what we do up here in the broadcast booth. But thank y'all for watching, thank y'all for tuning in, man. We can't thank you guys enough, man, for showing the love already here throughout the evening, tuning in, enjoying some great racing action, man. It's going to be great to see the Full Throttle Outlaws and all these drivers back in action each and every single Friday night, duking it out, battling here, having some great fun again here on Peacemaker Gaming, and we can't wait to see them back in action again next week. Unfortunately, though, that's going to do it for us here tonight. We'll be back up here in the broadcast booth tomorrow night for some more amazing racing with the Premium Stock Car Racing League, and for all of our fans in the stands, man. Hopefully we'll see you guys there. Hopefully we'll see you guys tuning in, showing the love, enjoying some racing action with us again tomorrow night. But thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for tuning in. We'll see y'all later, man. Peace and love, ladies and gentlemen. Peace and love.
Engines scream, asphalt burns, the grips a gamble. Tires squeal, hearts race, this leads to scandal. Full throttle, no brakes, chasing that checkered. Drafted lines tighter than a bank teller's ledger. Turn 4 is a monster, jaws wide like a gator. Pit stop, quick cruise, move sharp as a razor. Adrenaline pumps, veins fuel injected. Outlaws on the track, chaos perfected. Full throttle kings, we don't slow down. Ripping through the night, owning this town. Gas to the floor, the crowd gets loud. Outlaws racing, we're born unbound. Smoke trails curl, exhaust whisper secrets. Victory's a beast, only the brave can keep it. Paint job flash, sponsors on the side. Egos collide, stealing pride. Oval dreams where legends ignite. Green flag drops, sparks kiss the night. This ain't a hobby, this a gladiator's grind. Racing's the religion, speed's the shrine. Bump draft, slingshot, rival in my sights. One wrong move, you're kissing the lights. Bump draft, slingshot, rival in my sights. One wrong move, you're kissing the